He was embroiled in some kind of necromantic foible with a couple of other blokes and decided it was time to take a little bit of time off, and he hit the road, where he met a wandering blacksmith who was looking for employment, a half orc, and they struck up a friendship and at wandered into a small village which asked them for help with a goblin problem they were having, and they knew that the goblins were hanging out in an old ruined dungeon up in the hillscape. Of course, Saucy, being a person of adventure now, more so than a cook, but still retaining some of his chef repertoire, decided, let's kick it up and let's go to this dungeon. So the two of you made your way to said dungeon, and this is where we begin. Now, Nutty.
That is called putting your finger on the fast forward button.
So, we begin with Nutty, because Nutty will have the lowest emotion score. You suddenly find yourself hanging from the edge of a precipice, and you're struggling to hold on. I need you to do a physical check, difficulty 1, as your feet scramble against the side of this stone hole you find yourself in.
Okay, so DL1 means you work with these. You get 1 for sure, and then you have a 2 bonus, 1 for being a superhero, 1 for being an orc. So roll all 3 of those, try to hit a 1.
Nope. 3, 4, 4.
No.
No ones. So one of your hands slip. You're about to fall down into the precipice. We move on to Saucy. In front of you, the orc has fallen into a pit trap and is struggling to remain alive. You can attempt to catch him as his one hand falls. You can see his second hand is about to lose his grip. The difficulty is 1. Physical check.
So DL1 to me, right?
Correct.
And I have 1 less dice. I got a 2. I'll use a story value token and save his ass.
Excellent. So you scramble.
Wait a second.
He's holding you by the forearm and pulling you out of this hole. You scramble up into the 4-way intersection you find yourself in. Looking back south, you see the stairway. You descended into this darkness, and thankfully you had the presence of mind to bring 2 torches with you. So you have lit those torches, and the light source rating of that is 3. So on your character sheet, you'll find light source, and just put that as 3.
Okay. I'll let you hold that.
Okay. Well, we said we have 2.
Yep.
Yeah, so you can just use the 1 if that's how you want to do it.
Yeah, because I've got a 2-handed weapon, right? So
for anybody watching, I'm using the dungeon cards that are on the dmg.info/store to create a random dungeon as we play this game. All right, so heading south, as I said, you see the stairway that you descended down into this area. You're in the middle of a 4-way intersection with this pit trap that you've just climbed out of. It was a rudimentary trap, but you failed to spot it on your way in. So, Nutty, what would you like to do?
When I look down each corridor, does it just go eventually to darkness at the edge of the vision?
The light source basically fills the area you're in, and you can kind of just see into each of the alcoves of each corridor that heads away. So to the north, you can see it sort of curving to the east. To the east, it narrows significantly, and to the west is just a straight passage.
Were we given any warning as to what we might find down here?
You know that there are goblins in here.
Okay. Ask my companion which direction.
There's no way to know for sure. Let's not go down the narrow one.
Fair enough.
Narrow passages equal goblins. Let's go down the big straight one.
Sure.
All right.
That one was west.
That one is west, yeah. So you're heading west, and you come to a dead end. It's a little bit suspicious.
Quick check of the environment. Is there any secret doors? Any sort
Okay.
of...
So essentially you need to do a senses check,
Sure.
and the difficulty will be 2.
You have no bonus to senses, and I have no bonus to senses.
But because it's calm, we'll give you an extra dice.
Okay. And what DL?
2.
Difficulty level 2, so that's
Yes,
4s.
D4s.
We both get to roll 2 4s. 3 and 4. 4 and 4. We suck.
All right. So you're feeling the walls and you're looking around and you find nothing that says that this is actually anything other than a dead end. From behind you hear...
Sorry?
From behind you hear...
Well, I'm going to knock an arrow.
I shall draw my weapons and prepare for...
Can we
goblins.
tell where it's coming from?
From back down to the 4-way intersection that you were in.
Well, we're going to nudge our way back.
Yeah.
All right. So as you slowly creep along the corridor and the light of your torch illuminates the way ahead, you see 3 or 4 little figures just scurry out of the light down the different corridors to the north and south.
And can we tell what these creatures are?
Do a senses check, difficulty 1.
And how wide are the corridors?
So you can walk
Hey,
2 abreast. But the narrow one
Yeah,
would
so
be... Sorry?
If we walk shoulder to shoulder, we fill up the corridor?
Yeah.
3.
Yeah, you made it. Remember? Odd. DL1.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yep.
So at any rate, yeah, we both made it.
Excellent. So you see some green-skinned little figures. So they'd be size 3. You guys are size 5. So they are a little bit more than half your size. But they are carrying spears. You do a mental check, difficulty 1, to recall if you have any information about these creatures.
Okay. You said mental?
Mental, yes.
Mental. Do I have any points in mental? No, I don't. Okay. Mental. You said DL4?
1.
What was the difficulty level?
1.
1. Oh, that's not so bad.
Oh, there you go.
No. No!
So you have no idea what these creatures are. But as a player, I'm sure you can guess.
Do they know we're here? They must with the light.
Yep.
Yeah.
You would
Are
assume
they
so,
acting?
yes.
Are they acting aggressively? Are they defensive? What are they doing?
You can't really tell at this point.
Okay. Well, we'll nudge forward some more.
Yeah, we either need to get to the corner intersection and out,
And then,
or
yeah.
take them on. So we'll nudge forward.
So you
I
hear
guess
as
the nutty.
all right. So as you enter the 4-way intersection, you hear cackling echoes echoing through the dungeon.
Okay, well, we know, like, let's not step in another trap here. Echoing throughout the... So do we know which direction these little guys went in?
You know that they went north and south, so they went up the stairway and also deeper through the curved passage.
Up the stairway we came in?
Correct.
Hesitant to go back up those stairs.
I don't know. I don't like my back not knowing that I have an exit.
Yeah.
Okay, good. We're going to go see if we can stop these idiot trap makers from bugging our exit.
Okay, so you move south towards the stairway that goes up, and as you get to the bottom of the stairway, you're looking up. The sunlight is slowly disappearing as you hear a stone grinding as something is covering the entranceway that you came through. The walls around you are shaking a little bit, and there's particles of dust and stuff falling from the ceiling, sparking in your torch as you stand there.
Lovely.
We're strapped in.
Yeah. Oh, well.
It's either down or.
Well, I don't speak Kobold.
No, I
Or
don't.
Draconic. They may speak actual Draconic. I've always thought it unusual that scumbags would speak Draconic. Well, can we see these little villains that went up to close that? Because they aren't strong enough to do that. That has to be a machine to close the gate.
So you can do.
Okay, can we?
You can do a mental check difficulty 4 to determine the mechanics of the machinery that would have had to do that.
Mental 4, huh?
Yep.
Roll a d8 and pray.
That's right.
Nope. Nope.
All right. And remember, if you roll a 2, you can use a story value token to turn that into a 1.
Nah.
Okay. So, yeah, you have no idea how these little creatures managed to move a large block of stone over the entrance.
Okay, so
But now they're now locked outside. Whoever went to close that mechanism is now.
You
on
would
the
assume-
other side.
You would assume so, yes.
Okay, well. I'm going to do an investigation around the top there where it's all closed to see if there is a engineering room that they're in, because I don't want them coming up our butts.
Okay. So you head up, and then obviously your torch is... you go right to the top of the stairs. You're kind of cramping in under the ceiling and using the torch as the flame licks against the ceiling to see if there's any kind of hatch or doorway or anything of that. So all you find against the wall is a small hole that is... it looks like something gets inserted into the stonework of the wall.
You're saying something needs to be inserted or something's already inserted?
Something needs to be inserted.
Let's go find it.
Yeah. Looking south, they're still cackling at us.
Yeah, you still occasionally hear an echo of a cackle.
Okay.
The stairs are to the south.
Yeah.
We're on the south.
You're north.
So,
you mean north, yes.
We're north?
No, the cackling is from the north.
Got it, yeah.
Okay.
Well, we're going to follow our inner cackle.
Do a mental check difficulty 1.
Do I have anything good in mental? Probably not. Nope. No!
No. Okay. So you head back to the 4-way intersection. In the middle of the floor, of course, is the pit, which you avoid. Which way do you wish to go?
Well, Nutty passed that last check, unless that was only for Saucy.
What's this for?
The last mental check? If it was difficulty
Oh,
1,
you did pass it.
Nutty
Sorry,
passed
yes.
that.
Yeah, okay, sorry. You think to yourself it's probably a good idea to map where you're going.
Okay. So we've gone west. We know that to be a dead end, or I think it's at least a dead end now. So we know
there
that's
was a-
blocked off. So
a
it's
straight
south.
passage to a dead end. South was the stairway. East was the narrow corridor. And north was the curved passage to the east.
So, was the way in. So 4-way with the truck. Then we went north. We haven't been yet. And then west we went to a dead end. And then east we haven't been yet.
Yeah. East was narrow.
Okay.
Just as inside.
Cool. And then, yeah, you see when you got the mental check right, you have to put the little tick box down, right?
Yeah.
So now you've got, and when you fill that all in, you'll get to use an extra dice.
Okay.
Okay. Cool. Right on.
All right. But there's no sound coming from the east.
Well, the sounds that
We
you
do
hear
it.
are echoes, so you can't really tell which direction they come from.
Oh, okay.
Got it.
Well, what else is there to do than go stomp some goblins?
Let's go stomp some goblins or whatever these things are. Well, we're going to head north.
Yeah.
So we tactfully make our way around the pit trap.
Yep.
And the general marching order, for lack of a better way to phrase it, would be putting the big guy at the front and me with a bow ready to rock and roll.
Okay. So you slowly make your way around the curved passage that comes to a small wooden door. So it would be size 4, so you would actually have to dip down to enter through the door, but it's currently closed.
Does this, sorry, it curves to the east or west?
It curves to the east.
90 degrees?
Yes.
And ends in a wooden door, and it's smaller.
Yeah, it's a small wooden door.
Got it. Sounds so D&D. I listen at the door. Right. Oh, shit.
Something big back there.
Yeah. Okay. So we know there's something big in there. Good. Recon. We're going to go back to the 4-way and go the other direction.
Okay. So you're heading through the narrow corridor? Is that because that's the last one you haven't gone down?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
sure. At least, I mean, when you say narrow, I'm never going to go into a spot where we have to inhale and hold our breath to get through the crack. No.
No. You would kind of have to walk sideways, though.
Yeah, I'm not surprised, especially the half work.
Okay. So do a senses check, difficulty 2.
Senses 2, that's a 4.
The half-orc does it first.
Any bonuses for my character? Half.
Let me see.
It's just on the
No.
character sheet.
Not on your senses.
4. Man, if I was good tonight, I'd know everything.
Difficult at level 2, right?
That's correct.
I'm not going to blow a story value token on that.
Okay. So you both failed? You both failed, is that correct?
Sorry, that lagged.
You both failed?
Yes.
Okay. So you are impaled by spears coming through the wall. Each of you takes an injury.
Lovely.
You will
Do you want to know about our armor?
Yeah, well, what have you got protection? You wearing
Yes.
armor? Okay.
I do, and so does he.
All right. So
they're
what
both-
armor are you wearing?
Leather aprons with a PV of +1, and these are piercing weapons, so no further bonuses.
Okay. So you have a PV of 1, which means you roll a single d20.
Lost in the lag, sir.
So it's PV of 1, which means you roll a single d20.
Oh, and I need a 1 to save myself?
Yes.
2.
I rolled a 4.
Both failed.
So if you roll a 2, you can change that to a 1 with a story value.
Yeah, I will definitely use.
Okay,
one of those.
so
enough.
you don't take the injury, and Saucy does take the injury and is poisoned. So we need to do a Constitution check.
Con check. Difficulty?
Is 2.
DL2 as opposed to D2.
Yeah, difficulty is 2, so D4. Yeah.
Okay. Made it.
All right, so you are not affected by the poison.
Cool.
All right, so you continue to pass through to get away from the other spears that are coming through the wall, and you hear... and you emerge into a small room. And in the small room is just a collection of various different weaponry, mostly spears, and you can basically select any weapon you like, but there won't be anything over an EL of 2. So it's really anything over an EL of 1. So it's really only basic weaponry. Is there anything you'd like to arm yourself with?
It appears we already have at least...
All you have is a hammer. You're also proficient with the long spear. May want to pick one up.
I'm misreading this spear.
No, those are what you're proficient in. You only have the hammer.
Ah.
Right?
Yeah, if there's a axe, hand axe, or a spear.
I think we should be able to do that. I'll just check the list.
Yeah, and for myself... they won't have a rapier because that's an EL3 weapon.
That's right.
And I already have my longbow. Do they have long swords?
Longsword is higher EL, I think. So, sorry, what were you, hand axe?
No. No, then it's... Yeah, I've got a cleaver already.
Yeah,
I don't need a
You
hand
can get a
axe.
war axe, but not a hand axe. Oh, sorry, you can get a hand axe. My apologies. You can get a hand axe.
I've got the cleaver already.
Yep. So, yeah, hand axe is slashing, ranged, and has a pin effect as well, so you can pin people to a surface with it. Tomahawk style.
Oh.
Okay, I'll take that. Hand axe, and I already have a longbow. The rapier longsword, I'll have to find in a different stash.
Yep. So, while you're searching through the weapons to find what you're after, you do notice that this room has some sculptural elements in the cornicing that reminds you of dwarves.
Okay, this room I definitely want to check for hidden entrances or doorways as well then.
Elements that remind you of the walls, like
dwarves.
holes that spears can come through.
Of dwarves.
Of dwarves?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Maybe their craftsmanship, they've got some passage the goblins haven't found.
I don't know. I go examine some of these dwarven sculpture.
Okay. So there's a lot of piled sort of junk around in the room, and so you move some of it aside, and you notice that there is actually there is something against the north wall that is a little bit out of place in the way that the wall is structured.
Okay. Part of that came through, part of it didn't.
Okay. So the north wall, you've moved some things out of the way, and you discover that the wall is not entirely as it should be.
Okay. Well, I'm going to do a more thorough examination, doing the tappy test and things to see if there's something going on behind this.
Okay. So you do the tap test, and a piece of the masonry kind of just falls off, and one of the bricks kind of moves slightly in.
I'll push that brick as hard as I can.
Okay, do a physical check, difficulty 2. Now, if Saucy helps you, you get a bonus dice.
A bonus?
Yep.
Do I help him push the brick?
Yep.
Sure.
Um,
Yeah, so you get to roll 3, and you're trying to get a 1 now.
Okay. I have 2.
Wait a second. No, you get to roll an extra 1 because I'm helping.
Okay.
Ugh.
So I have the option to use a story token here.
Yeah, if we don't, we lose all our forward momentum.
Yeah, and I almost feel like if we have to go back through that door, it's not going to go well. anyways.
You can either do that or you can do a catastrophic failure. Now, catastrophic failure will earn you a story value token, but bad stuff happens to you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, in other words, we haven't made your decision yet. You've got 2 story value tokens left. Option 1, you leave the dice the way they are, declare a catastrophic failure, take a story value token, but something bad happens, like you drop your weapon and you can't pick it up for 2 turns.
Eventually,
If it,
it doesn't happen
immediately.
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 it happens right away,
Oh, okay.
right? And then, but option 2 is suck it up and just pay down the story value token and succeed at the check.
Let's go with catastrophic failure. You're injured. Let's.
Okay, he's going for the catastrophic failure.
Okay. So, you're pushing and you realize the whole wall is actually not very well. It used to be a doorway or something, and so the wall is basically going to fall down. But you've pushed it in such a way that it gives way in the wrong direction and actually collapses on top of you rather than into the space that was behind it. So you take 2 injuries and Saucy takes 1 because he was there as well.
To clarify, how much damage is that relative to?
You have 7.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you were a first level character in a D20 system, you just took 3 points of damage.
Okay.
It's not a panic.
It may
Right?
be, though.
There is a wrinkle though, right? And that is if
Oh,
somebody's
yeah.
trying to hit you and you're damaged, it's easier to hit you in this system.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
That actually makes a lot of sense.
And also, it's
Cool.
more likely that you'll run away as well when you have to do emotion checks.
That's
Okay.
possible too.
Yeah.
Now, how are we gonna squeeze Corey in now?
I'm going to do that right now. So,
Rock and roll.
perfect timing, Corey.
Sorry, I saw the time and I was like, "Oh yeah, crap, I'm late." Did we start at 6:30 or 7? I guess our time. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
How long you guys been playing?
Half hour. But it's fine. It's going to work perfectly because.
Yeah, that's cool.
What was your character's name again?
Oslo. He's a
Oslo.
halfling messenger who got in trouble with some bad people.
Oslo was on his usual messaging trip, like delivering messages to a small village when he was accosted on the road and his head was shoved in a bag and he was knocked unconscious.
That's not very nice.
You've come to, and the bag's been pulled off your head and you're surrounded in this dark room by these goblins and they're like nattering at you. And into the room through a large door enters a giant ogre and points at you with a club. So you're tied into this chair and you're a little bit panicky. And the ogre's sort of stomping around. So the goblins, as they, poke you with spears, obviously trying to make you talk, but no one understands your language and you don't understand theirs. When suddenly the wall behind you collapses, falling on top of the ogre, and he falls to the ground. And 2 of the goblins are killed instantly by the weight of the wall crushing them. 2 other goblins take an injury and are scattered to the sides of the room as dust fills the room and your lungs. So that brings us back to Nutty and Saucy, who have just collapsed the wall on top of themselves.
No worries. I'll be right back though. I need to speak with my wife real fast too. But
Okay.
Sorry.
It's all right.
Sausage is taking a bathroom break,
Okay.
but collapsed on us. Are we now stuck under it and need to take time to get out of the rubble, or are we?
No, it's easy to get out of the rubble. That's not a problem. It's just that you did get injured by all the rubble falling on top of you. That's all.
Yeah. And there's 2 live goblins and an ogre in the next room.
That's right. And a dude tied to a chair.
And a panicky-looking little guy.
Okay, and is the ogre, is he getting up as fast as we are, or is he look stunned from the...
So the dust has filled the room, so you can vaguely see what's happening in here.
Okay.
The guy in the chair is coughing with all the dust filling his lungs. You do get a surprise round, which means you get to attack, and they don't get to attack back for this round.
Okay. How long would it take to untie someone?
Just one. Oh, well, you got to do a check for it, but usually it would take 1 round. If you fail the check, you can try again. So you get an extra dice each time you try. So it may take 1 turn. It could take 2 or 3. It depends on how well they've tied the knot. But these are goblins, so it can't be that good.
And remind me, so it was a bit patchy, the video.
Right.
But am I like gagged and bound, or am I like just...
You're bound, so your hands are bound behind the chair.
So I can talk to him.
Yeah, you can, yeah. But you can't see them because they're behind you.
I'm just like screaming, "Help me!"
Okay. So Nutty's gonna run up to the person tied in the chair and see if he can use his hand axe to help him untie the person. And then, if successful, I'm gonna hand him my spear.
Okay. So your hand axe, you just chop right through the ropes. So Oslo is now, his hands are free and he's able to join in. So that takes you, basically your movement and your action take your whole round to do that. I'll allow Oslo to now actually have a turn.
So I was handed a spear?
Yeah, he hands you a spear, yeah.
Okay.
By a half-orc blacksmith.
Oh boy. I'm like... Are there any goblins right around too? Sorry.
Yeah, there's 2 goblins that are kind of like coughing and spluttering in the corner.
Okay, because this is a huge spear for a halfling, I'm just gonna be like, and I'm just gonna like hold it and just like run over to some of those goblins and just try and knock them over prone.
Okay. So we'll do a tackle check. So just do a physical difficulty 1, but do it twice, 1 for each.
Okay. All right, I succeeded on both. Oh, I built those dice, by the way. Super cool.
Okay, cool. All right, so yeah, you knock those 2 to the ground.
And I'm just like, take that! Ah! And I'm like going crazy because I've just been kidnapped by these guys, and it's a rude awakening.
All right, so Saucy, did you hear what happened or not?
Yeah, the wall collapsed, and we discovered. I've heard of this halfling and never met him.
Yeah.
Right. There was a lizard man issue or something. I could be wrong. Right.
Yeah.
Only because I've got a friend who's a lizard man, and he said the lizard men you dealt with were scumbags.
Yeah, they weren't very nice.
Yeah. So, yeah, at any rate, fill me in on the goblins here. Does one of them look like a prime candidate for an arrow through the face?
Well,
so there were 2 goblins coughing and spluttering, and Oslo jumped out of the chair after Nutty used a hand axe to free him, and charged with the oversized spear to knock them both to the ground. They were injured in the wall collapse, and there is a large ogre lying on the ground, covered in rubble.
He's not dead.
No. Well, he's still breathing. And grunting.
Well, my turn, huh? I'm going to put an arrow in his butt and try to kill him.
Okay. So,
Maybe he'll sit on it. We'll get lucky.
combat.
Oh, hey. I ran my first 7D system game today, earlier
How
today.
did it go?
It went really good, actually. Like, gameplay itself, super smooth. Everything was great. They had a lot of questions for character building,
Yeah.
but it's just because they're like, well, what type of jobs are there? And what type of equipment have we got? But overall, it was really great. I ran it for
Cool.
3 people. So,
How long did you run it
yeah,
for?
it went really good. We ran only for like an hour and a half.
Okay. Did you get a lot
Because I spent about, yeah, well, it was actually, yeah, it moved really fast, which is really refreshing. We had them meet, my wife played a barmaid and a couple others, but the bar, there's an arson problem in their city, and so they soon were tasked with sorting it out. And yeah, they were a gnome, a halfling, and a dwarf versus a couple humans, and they were like running around tripping them and like putting bags on him. My friend pantsed a guy. Super great. So much fun.
All
Yeah,
right.
it was good. But anyway, sorry.
Cool. That's great. No, thanks for that. So you are half the size, so you get +2. So you're at 3 from your base score. You're firing at him close range, so that's another 2, makes 5. He is on the ground. No, that doesn't count for ranged. He is occupied, so +1, so 6 d4s.
D4s.
Yep.
Okay, and that's going to be 1 for that and 1 for the proficiency. And now, longbows have this weird characteristic. It says something of, okay. So I'm rolling D4s, but I'm rolling only 1 plus my proficiency dice, and that's it.
Yeah, so you would get a bonus combat score if you were using it long ranged. But yeah, you have arrows, so it has you need to do an ammunition roll once you've fired.
Yeah. Okay. Come on, 1. Got it.
Okay.
You.
So you fire the arrow into the ogre
with. I'm so happy. So now I need to do an ammo check. That's which D?
So the ammo of a longbow is 5.
Oh, the arrows are CV5. That's carry value.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So the difficulty is the ammo value, and you roll 1 dice per ranged attack performed. So you can actually fire twice as a complete action if you want.
I can fire twice.
As a complete action, you can fire twice if you don't move, which I assume you wouldn't.
Oh, okay. Sure. Missed.
Missed the second one, but you hit the first one, right?
Yes.
Okay. So he's double the size. His armor fails to help him. Do you want to use a story value token to have an amazing success?
Doesn't break my heart. Oh, does he get a story marker on his experience sheet for a catastrophic failure?
No, he doesn't get the experience. He just gets a token.
Okay, got it.
Yep. Okay, so you didn't run out of ammunition, I assume?
I wouldn't get it here either then. I wouldn't get a story value experience point for having a wonderful success.
No. You're just using story value tokens for that.
Yeah, just the token.
That's correct, yeah.
Got it.
Cool.
Fair enough.
So you succeeded. You still have ammunition, correct?
Which D was that I have to roll?
A D10.
D10. Okay.
Yeah, you have to roll it twice because you fired twice.
So the ammo value is corresponding to the difficulty level dice, right?
And if I roll a 1, I run out.
Correct.
Yeah.
I ran out.
All right.
No.
So you on your hunting adventures and things like that, you forgot to replenish your arrows, and you have now successfully run out of arrows. Thankfully, you just came from an armory room, so there may be more there.
Yeah.
Okay, so this brings us to that was the surprise round. So we go to the normal round now. Sorry, you didn't do a spectacular success, did you? You just did a normal success. Is that right?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, what would be involved in doing this spectacular success?
If you spend the story value token, then the cool thing happens. Otherwise, it's just a normal success.
No, I'll just go for the normal success.
Okay, great. All right. So the ogre now has an arrow sticking out of his back, and it is the normal round now. So you guys are equal with the goblins and the ogre in terms of your initiative. So everyone just roll a d20.
And low is good.
9.
You go first.
So the goblins got a 2, so they go first. And the ogre got a 7, so he goes next, and then Oslo, and then the two of you.
Then, yeah.
Okay, so the first goblin obviously is right at Oslo. So he managed to just pick up his spear and begins to attack Oslo.
Is he? Because is it a reach weapon, or are we both little small guys and he's right next to me? So can I attempt to dodge
his
attack? Okay.
So the dodge is only done if he's not successful.
Oh, that's true. Okay.
All right. So he is the same. You're a size 3, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So he's the same size as you. So base score has no bonuses from anything. You don't have any injuries at the moment. No allies count. Technically, you're unarmed, so that makes 2, which is d12s.
Okay.
He successfully hits you. So you can perform a dodge. The difficulty is 2.
And that's a physical check? Or do you need to have the dodge forte to dodge, or can you still try and do it?
When you have the dodge expertise, that adds dice to your PV check.
Okay. But it's just physical for now.
It's just physical. So once you earn dodge, then it starts to add dice to other things.
Cool. And what was the difficulty again, real fast? 2. All right. So where's my d4s at?
So this is the darker skinned goblin. He's like a really pale, not pale, but a really sort of darker shade of green. And the other guy looks like he's almost an albino goblin. So he's like a very light, almost blue color.
I do not dodge, so I take an injury?
You take an injury, yes.
Okay.
So the second one is also attacking you. He fails to hit.
Cool.
The ogre spends the turn standing up, shaking off all the masonry.
Oh, great.
All right, so Oslo.
Okay, so I've got 2 goblins next to me that I just knocked over, and they're stabbing at me, right?
Yep.
They're
still on the ground.
Spear, yeah, and I just have this huge spear, right? Because they took all my stuff. Okay.
Well, your stuff will be in a bag in the corner.
Um, I'm gonna. So they just caved in on this wall. Is there like a huge rock? I'm just gonna grab this rock, and since some of them are like right there on the ground, I'm just gonna like try and crush
Okay.
one of their heads with this
So
rock,
it
the one that
will
missed me.
we'll use the improvised weapon proficiency.
Okay.
So you pick up a rock and you basically just want to slam it on the head. So they're the
Cool.
same size as you, base score of 1. I give you higher ground. So that's 2. They both have 2 injuries, so that's another 1. So that's 4.
3, 4.
They are armed. They are they attacked, so
They
that makes
attacked
6.
as well.
Yep.
Cool. All right.
And they're
so
on the ground,
D...
so that's another 3. So
Cool.
that takes you well over 7. So it's
cool.
D2s.
D2
Yep.
or a combat
Yep.
score? Okay. All right. And improvised weapon. I don't have any proficiencies with that.
Yeah, it's
All
a
right.
bludgeoning weapon.
Cool. I miss.
Okay, it's a swing and a miss.
Okay.
You can use a story value token to change that to a 1 if you wish.
Oh yeah, that's true. We start over. So we start off with 3 plus our ranks in story
Correct.
value.
Yep.
Okay, so I've only got 3. Yeah, sure. I'll burn one.
Okay.
And
So you smack this thing in the forehead and green blood spatters over the wall behind him.
cool. I'm a rock chucker.
As for that visual, YouTube then demonetizes this video. All right. So that moves us then to Nutty.
I got the 17, so I'll probably go last.
I'm 15.
Oh, okay.
I go next.
Sorry. Yep. Okay. Saucy.
Cool. Okay, no problem. Well, now that I no longer have my any ammo for my bow, time to pull out that brand new axe and take a chunk out of this ogre.
Okay.
Okay, so does that make sense?
He still counts as on the ground because he's standing up. He would
Okay.
be you would be half the size, so you're 3. On the ground is another 3, so that's 6, and he's occupied. That makes 7.
Okay. 7, so that's D2s.
Correct.
Hit.
Nice.
Yep. No experience gain though. That's brutal.
It's the way the cookie crumbles. He does not save. He does not negate the injury, so he is now further injured.
I'm not an ogre killer. I'm just an ogre denter.
That's right. Okay, so that brings to Nutty.
Nutty's gonna pull out his warhammer and try and kill the ogre. Or is it warhammer? It's a bludgeoning weapon.
Yeah, you've got the equivalent of a warhammer. You've got the hammer you've got from your forge.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's your smithing hammer.
Yep.
All right, so you basically also have a 7. It's base score. He's larger than you, so you're half the size. He's on the ground, and he's occupied, so that brings it up to 7 easily.
Yeah, so now you're rolling 2s. So you get a base 1, plus you get 1 for being proficient. Okay. So now that works. Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
Okay.
So you smack him about the face. As a tooth flies out and bounces off the wall.
Ooh,
So-
is it sharp and pointy?
You're like, bang.
Maybe I could be this improvised weapon guy.
It's like giant ogre teeth.
Who are you? They call me the dentist.
Some crazy dentist and his pissed off girlfriend. So yeah, the ogre doesn't negate the injury, so he is now sustained even more damage. Okay, so this brings us to the next round. All right, so the goblins go first. The darker goblin, because the number of injuries that he has is sort of taking a little bit of a back step, and rolls out of the way to stand up. The other one attempts to attack Corey again. Fails. And the ogre, now brandishing is fully standing up now, brandishing his club, is taking a large swing at, let's determine that randomly, at Nutty. Okay, so
Alright.
his base score, he is... Are you injured?
I took 2 injured points from the catastrophic failure,
Yep.
but I think from the spears.
Okay, so so that's an extra 1 to him, so that's 2. You attacked, so makes 4. He has no allies at this point. You are no, you moved, so that one. So that's at 4 is d8s.
Let's hit harder in this too.
He seems quite proficient with his club, but he fails to hit you as you duck at the last moment, and the club hits the wall. All right, so that brings us to Oslo.
Okay, so the one that I smacked in the face with the rock, he's still there, or did he run away?
He's the one
Video
who
kinda broke up.
sort of ran away. Well, he's not running away.
He ran away.
He rolled away so that he could stand
Oh,
up.
okay.
He's trying to stand up from the other one. Is still lying on the ground, but are trying to attack you.
Yeah. Okay, so looking around me real quick, taking a quick glance before I attack one of these guys. I've got the goblins in front of me. More goblins around the area too.
From when you had the bag over your head, you hear a lot of echoing and cackling and things. So you would assume there are more than the 4 that were in this room. Obviously, 2 were killed by the wall that crushed them, and then there's these other 2. But you can't really tell, but you would think that there are more.
Okay. Well, I don't have anything other than these rocks. Is there like a broken piece of wood? I guess I could. Yeah, I need something to fight with, so I'm gonna grab. I'm gonna I guess spend a story value token to get like a broken piece of maybe inside the wall, maybe like a beam or something that I can use like a club.
Well, there's a bag full of your stuff in the corner, so everything you had is in a bag.
Oh, okay. Sorry, the video broke out with that too. Okay, well then I'm just gonna run over there and grab my dagger.
Okay.
We're going to adopt this.
So we'll just assume you spend the entire round just basically re-kitting, so you've got everything you had.
Yeah, cool.
Okay.
Scrambling around, getting my stuff.
Yep. All right. So that brings us to Saucy.
Woohoo! Time to axe me some ogre. Now, the only thing I can think of between last time and this time is this time he may not be occupied.
He's not. He's no longer on the ground. So, but you do get an ally bonus. So it's base score. Your half the size makes 3. You make the ally, which is 4. He's 3 injuries, which makes him 5. And he attacked, which makes 7.
7 altogether?
Correct.
Oh, D2s again. Rock and roll. And I get that. Booyah! 3 hits. Makes up for the less than stellar rolling I've been doing.
His armor fails to.
Even if they're going to demonetize your video, I'm trying to be clean here.
It's a family-friendly fucking show.
Exactly.
So his armor fails to assist him as you smack him in the kneecap with your axe. Get this shake up. All right, that brings us to Nutty.
I yell die already as I try and take out the rest of his teeth.
All right. You would also be at 7, so D2s.
It'll be down in the same place, but you only get to roll 2 because you don't have the extra proficiency I got from last game.
Okay. 3 again.
Yeah, did it.
Excellent. So you basically smack out the rest of his teeth. Some go down his throat. He's like... All right. So everything swings around back to the goblin. So the darker skinned goblin is now up. He's now behind you, Oslo. So he charges in because you went in the corner to pick up your stuff. So his base score, same size as you. Rear attack known makes 4. Do you have any injuries at the moment?
You're in the zone.
Any injuries?
Yeah. Do you
I
have
have
any
one.
injuries? 1? Okay, so that doesn't count.
Yeah.
And you're occupied, so that makes 5s, D6s.
It's getting late and I'm doing this as well, so.
And both fail just.
Woo!
Both with 2s.
Oh,
Okay.
man.
So the other goblin is still attempting to attack you. He's sort of slithering along the ground now, trying to stab you in the foot. So he's base. He would also be rear attack because you are in the corner. So that's 4. He gets an ally, which makes 5. And you're occupied, which makes 6, which is D4s. And he also fails you. You can just see this spear going between your legs. You're like, what the hell was that?
Oh dear. All right.
All right. Now,
This is back to me now, or
just as a matter of rules, so that if you had been hit there, you would have got cover on both sides from the walls next to you while you're standing in the corner.
oh, cool.
Okay? But
Okay.
yes, it is now your turn.
Oh yeah. Remember, I took a vial of that acid last time. I'm gonna go
That
ahead.
sounds weird.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull out my acid and say, "Anyone want some?" No.
The beginning of our last episode, I actually thought I was on some kind of hallucinogenic.
I know I haven't. It stinks. I've got this new job. I haven't gotten around to catching up on everyone's games, and so that's what I was actually doing right before this. All right, so I'm going to grab the extra dagger I took with me, and just take that vial, spill it out onto the blade, and then I'm gonna ignore both of these goblins, and attempt to just sprint through and just basically stab this huge ogre with this acid coated dagger just right in the ankle or thigh or calf or something with this really nasty stuff.
Okay. So you will just say it's a quick action to pour the stuff onto the dagger. Then there's your movement, and then there's your action to do the attack. So so it's base. You are
Base.
1/3 the size, so that makes 4. You got 2
4.
allies, makes 6, and he attacked
6.
makes
8 attacks. That's
8,
at least 7 or 8. So yeah,
D2s.
cool. And dagger, I'm not quite 2 levels proficient yet, so just the 1. Okay.
Makes sense.
All right, I did get it.
All right, so you see the halfling come charging across and dive towards the ogre, stabbing him in the thigh with his dagger, and the ogre's starting to feel a little bit. That brings us to Saucy.
Is this ogre still up?
Yes, effects happened at the end of the round.
Well, I'm sorry, that's just not going to work for me. I have to kill him now.
Do it.
Hit.
Hit. All right, so you with your it's your cleaver you're using now, isn't it?
My hand axe.
Yeah, so your hand axe just goes straight into his clavicle, blood spraying everywhere, and that brings us to Nutty.
I don't think I need to hit him, but I'm gonna. Anyway. 7, right? Yeah. Oh crap. 2. Yep. We're good.
So you just
Bring it
basically
down.
crush his skull in with your smith hammer, and he's like, but as he's like drops to his knees, starts frothing and foaming at the mouth, and he's like eyeballs almost kind of like melt in his skull, and he just flops out of there.
I shout at the goblins now. Who stabbed me?
Him.
No, that's what we want. Sorry. This
All right,
is
so
Saturday night.
it swings around to the goblins now. Because their leader has just died, they have to do an emotion check, and the emotion check is difficulty equal to their current number of injuries. So let's bring that up.
No, you do.
Okay, so the current number of injuries is 3 for the first one. So that's D6s. And they have a motion score of 1. So he fails. So the dark-skinned one is just petrified and runs towards a large door in to the north. And the other one is difficulty 2. So that's D4s. And he also fails, so he scrambles like on his knees because he's still down on the ground. He's scrambling, he just drops his spear and scrambles towards the same door. So that brings us to Oslo.
Okay, so both goblins are running and the ogre's down, right?
Yep.
Okay.
You
I
can
guess
do a ranged
I,
coup de grace. You can
Sorry,
do
you
a
cut
ranged
out.
coup de grace.
That's true. I'm gonna use my good dagger that I've still got, and yeah, I'm gonna try and stick the guy in the back and give it a good check.
So you are
So
throwing
with coup de
the dagger as the coup de grace.
Mhm.
Coup de grace, sorry, mispronunciation there. Okay.
so we still calculate a combat score, or do we have
yes,
to
you do.
calculate a coup de grace check?
It's a combat score. So it's base rear attack aware, so that's 4. He has 3 injuries, so that's 5. He is occupied, which makes 6. And unarmed. Oh no, can't for ranged. Lost his wits. So yeah, it makes it D2s.
Did he lose his wits?
Yeah, he's lost his wits. He's feared. He's scampering away.
Oh, gripped with fear. Yeah. Okay, cool. So just a D2 again.
Yep.
Cool. All right, I got it.
All right, so you flung your dagger across the room as it's boom, pegs the guy in the back of the skull, and he just drops dead in the doorway as his friend scrambles over him on his hands and knees.
Great. I dust my hands off and say my work here is done, gentlemen. No. I'm just like, who are you?
Saucy, it's your turn. There's one goblin left, sort of on his hands and knees, scrambling out the door.
Yeah, no, he's not. I'm going to go grab him. I don't want to kill him.
Okay.
I want to capture him.
Okay. All right, so do a
So
physical
these-
check, difficulty 1.
Got it. And is the difficulty so low because he's such a little guy?
Yeah, they have very low physical score.
Ooh, good. I've got an extra physical from being a half elf.
Woo.
Ooh, made it. DL1, right?
Correct.
Yeah, no, I made it.
Yep. So you basically grab this goblin by the scruff of the hair, lift him up, and put him into a chokehold.
Good.
So, Nutty, is there
Now-
anything you want to do?
What are your favorite enemies? If they're goblins, that means you probably speak their language.
I'm gonna assist in helping bind the goblin and try and see if I can salvage any of the rope that was used to tie the halfling.
Okay.
I may have ruined it all by now, but
Well,
Yeah.
we'll say that you get an area length of rope, so that means it's the size of the area you're in terms of the diameter.
Well,
It doesn't matter what
So we
area
went
you're in; it's always going to be that big.
That's cool. Is that how that works?
Yeah.
With languages and stuff. If they're your favorite enemy, you can understand bits and bobs of
No,
what
not
they're saying.
necessarily. It would have to be listed as one of your languages.
Oh, okay.
And and it turns out half orcs don't have favorite enemies, anyways.
yeah,
Huh.
I went Orcish in common.
Cool.
Okay.
Well,
so yeah, you
the-
you physically restrain the goblin with the rope.
Is he cowering, panicking, spitting on me?
He is
What's his
still
reaction?
he's still panicking. So he failed
Okay.
his emotion check. So
I kick him with my good leather boots.
No, trying to go the other way. I'd like to get some intel on what's going on in this dungeon.
so
Okay.
Oslo, what is the your emotion score? So in your current points and ranks and things.
My emotion. I don't have any ranks in it yet.
You got any points?
You know who's got the highest emotion rank is the half orc.
Does
There you go.
Yeah,
You-
they come with an emotion.
I don't
Yeah.
have any emotion. I burn villages down. I steal things.
I watched you. Now
I
I
don't have
remember
any
the
emotion.
story. Yeah. Let's avoid lizard men by lighting the entire troposphere on fire.
That's right. I was so petrified. I was just like, these guys are gonna kill me. I
So
just need a big distraction. There's
the
a forest.
part of the-
I'll burn it down.
part of the reason
Yeah.
why the person with the lowest emotion goes first, just so that people understand the mechanics of the game. Part of the reason why the person with the lowest emotion goes first is they're the most impulsive. So if you're
makes
a non-impulsive character, you go last, which means all the impulsive shit goes first. So he
Yeah.
will actually kick him and stamp him with the boots if he wants.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go up and kick this dude in the leg and bark at him like, "Rah! Take that!"
No.
So that brings us to Saucy.
I'm next, right?
That's right.
I'm picking him up, covering him to protect him from the booted maniac, and saying, we need to see if this guy has anything. If he's got nothing, I'll hand him over. But I want to know why there's an albino goblin and why there's a dark skinned goblin. This is unusual. Now,
Upon hearing that, I start listening because I'm like, "Oh,
okay, so now I'm going to sit this goblin down where he's comfortable, but clearly boxed in, and I'm going to have the monster meat back here doing intimidation if necessary. I pull out some food that I've prepared, and I offer it to them to calm them down, let them know we're friends. How's he reacting?
You do an emotion check to calm him.
Okay. DL?
Difficulty is 1.
Ooh, easy. But emotion for me is El Succarino. Oh, yeah. Hail Mary. Made it.
All right. So the goblin calms down. And he
Good. Well, in
Takes the
reality,
food from
that
your
probably
hand.
takes a whole
Mhm.
turn. So
as he scarfs down and swallows the food.
oh yeah, and while that's going on, I hand hang on, I know Corey's name. What's your
Oslo.
character's name?
Oslo.
Oslo.
sorry."
I also hand Oslo a biscuit out of my knapsack and said, "Here, dude, you look like you've had a bad day."
Oh, thank you.
So
Yeah, my character
we will actually call this a quick rest. So as part of that, if you've got water, we'll say that you have got water. You will then be able to use the water to attempt to heal an injury. So the difficulty on your Constitution check is the number of injuries you currently have.
So you cut out there for a quick moment right after you mentioned if we had water.
Yeah, so if you've got water, which we would say that you do, you can use the water now to induce a healing check, which allows you to regain 1 injury.
And that's a Constitution check,
It's a
which is the
Constitution
difficulty
check.
of the number of injuries you have.
Correct.
So if I have 2 injuries, it's D4s,
Correct.
right?
Okay.
And it's a con check, and I only have nothing in con. Do you have any con? No. No.
All right.
We both missed.
We just drank regular water.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah,
not
same
healing
here.
potion water. So Oslo, did you get anything?
No, I didn't heal up at all either.
Okay. All right.
So now, after our little respite,
But
I
I'm
wanna go
enjoying the
through-
biscuit.
I want to see if there's arrows in that armory.
Yep. Okay. So you can have a scratch around. Do a senses check, difficulty 2.
I'm also going to go in there.
I'll-
He's going to assist.
yeah, that helps.
Will that help?
Yeah. So you can add. Each person
Yeah,
can
I'll help
add
you
a
look
dice
around.
if you're looking for the same thing. You're looking for arrows. You can add a dice. If you're looking for something else, it's a different check.
I'm looking for arrows because I'd like to find a bow, and I couldn't afford one in town, so
Okay.
I will do that. Find
There's
some arrows.
nothing over EL1 in this.
This place isn't swish enough to have any bows
No.
for you, Corey.
Oh,
I
bummer.
couldn't even get a long sword or a rapier.
All
I
right.
don't even get a short sword here. It's mostly
you
clubs
you
and
would be
spears.
able to find shurikens.
Ooh,
What?
that'd be cool.
Oh, just because they're small.
That's nice and small.
Very cool.
Hmm.
I'm just going to look around to see what I find in general. Can I just do a census check for that?
Yeah, it's basically the room is somewhat of a loosely created armory. There's mainly spears lying around,
Okay.
and the
Um,
the walls and the cornicing. It's sort of it looks dwarven in nature.
ooh, okay. Very cool.
To the
so
to the west
start
is
to
a
explain-
narrow corridor from a small doorway.
Okay. And I'm going to
Well, Corey,
kind of ask yeah.
now that we see what you're doing, we kind of explain and show you the little map we've drawn.
Oh, great. Okay. So I get my bearings and find out what you guys are doing here and ask all that detail.
All right, so you would know that to the west is from this armory that you're in is a narrow corridor which has murder holes in it, and you would find the other side of the murder holes in the room where the ogre was. So those goblins were the ones jamming the spears through there. And you find the poison spears underneath the rubble if you wish to use those. That leads to so further west leads to a 4-way intersection, which to the north is a curved passage to a small door, which is a small door to the room that you were in. Further to the east is a straight passage towards a dead end.
Yeah, I'm not claiming our map was very much to look at.
I definitely want to pick up one of those poison spears,
I
though.
like it.
Yep. So, yep, you can pick up a poison spear. The poison
Right.
difficulty is 2.
Okay. Oh, do I have any type of poison things for this acid stuff I picked up?
You've just used it.
Oh, I used all the vial? Okay, cool.
Yep.
I don't want anything to do with poison. I don't put any poison in my pack because I've got a lot of food in there.
There it is. All right. Erase that. I guess I'll pick up one of those poisonous spears too if they're available.
So while you guys are moving around in these 2 rooms through the hole in the wall, all the dust has really settled from the you you do again start to hear some echoes echoing through the dungeon.
Well, Oslo's just like, crap! Want nothing to do with these guys. I'm just trying to make a living here. They bag me. They tag me.
They're dirt balls.
Let's just get rid of them.
Witty dirt
By the
ball.
way, what are you guys doing in here anyway?
That's a funny story, actually. For reasons that I don't want to get into, somebody mistook me for undead. And then the way we fixed the problem was killing a necromancer. And now people, it's strange. I used to cook in the tavern. Now they won't let me cook in the tavern. They say, you're a hero now. Go out and do something great. So now I've got to do this stuff instead. And then we came to this new town and they said, go up to this place and you'll find adventure. We come in the door.
They said it'd be easy.
They said it'd be easy.
Yeah.
They always say it's going to be easy.
Yeah.
And then, we get in the door here. Just as we get in, we fall through a pit trap. We save ourselves, right? And we turn around and these little wretched swine locked us all in now. We've got like a planetarium lid on the building.
Hmm.
There is
That's
a little hole. Looks like a key. So we're
Oh,
on
yeah.
the quest for the key.
We're on the quest for the key to get the heck back out of Dodge here. And now that we found you, this is looking a little more optimistic.
Sounds good. Let's get ourselves a key and get out of here.
Well,
So-
while we're at it, I wouldn't mind. I'm irritated. I don't know.
That
what I'm gonna
always
do when we
happens
get-
in these games.
I don't like walls collapsing, and although it did hurt the ogre, overall, we're gonna take the win.
That could have gone worse.
It could have gone
It
worse.
wasn't going so well before.
Okay, well, we suck at navigating through these close corridors. You're the little guy. Why don't you don't have to take point all the time, but why don't you make some decisions about where we're going? The orc's got dark vision. He can spot, and I'll
Sweet.
carry the torch at the back.
I'm pretty good with direction. I get around.
Well,
So
yeah,
I'm gonna go ahead.
So the only
Yeah.
place that hasn't been explored yet is through the large door in the room that you were bound in.
Okay.
And listen to it, we hear more laughing and cackling. Or is
That's
that
just
coming
a
from the
general
entrance?
echo around the place.
Around the
Okay.
place. Okay, I'm gonna just kind of quickly see if I can get my bearings to find out. Well, no, you guys have a map already. Okay, so let's. You said that there was back another way, a curved off area that they hadn't explored.
No, the only place they haven't explored is through the door.
Okay, through the
The
doorway.
one goblins were
Okay.
running.
All right. Well, I say let's crack open this door and see if we can peek in and see, or is there like a keyhole or maybe a piece of the door?
The
Got
door is
blown up or
slightly ajar. There's a dead goblin kind of half through the doorway with your dagger sticking out the back
right.
of his skull.
Okay.
I have an odd idea. So I look at these goblins and I look at their gear, and Oslo is saying that I'm the same size as these guys. I say, we could cut their ears off and put them on my head, and then we could pretend like I have y'all prisoner. We could sneak up on and get the surprise on them.
Yeah, but
I'm going to
What-
give you a
what was
story
there-
value. I'm going to give you a story value experience for that.
I'm not buying it. Goblins are skinny and they have a completely different body proportions.
do we need to rub dirt on you also? I mean,
Do
your
we have to
skin's
give you
pretty
a-
different?
and a sagittal crest
I'm
and
just
a brow?
giving it to him for the idea. It's a great idea. So don't forget to
I just
mark down
think
the experience
if
and give yourself a story value token.
Perhaps we could-
He's got too much experience butchering cows. He knows there's difference.
So I could just sit there. I'm trying to convince this to these guys that I've never known. I'm just saying, listen, all I'm saying is I'm this small fellow. I think we could maybe get the sneak on them. Let's cut off their ears, stick it on my head. Let's cover me up in some dirt. Maybe I'll wear one of their things over my clothes, and I'll grab one of these spears and I'll just start trying to imitate their walking, and we can just walk and
Do
See what
do a
happens.
mental check difficulty 1.
Okay. Mental. Do I have anything in there? No, not yet. And I failed.
Okay. All I'll
but just
say is
brainstorming
Silence
that.
of the Lambs.
Yeah. So I
If you
guess
can't figure
I'm
out
just
now,
gonna
you'll figure it out later, or I'll tell you later what that's in reference to.
for Silence of the Lambs
Yeah.
with it put the lotion or whatever. Is that the reference? I don't know. It's been forever since I've seen that. Let's see.
Clarice.
Don't do that. It's Halloween. Don't do that. Let's see.
Hello, Clarice.
I'm just gonna go and I'm gonna look at the. Oslo is one of those guys that just he's an idea tank. So he just sits there and says, we should probably bring along one of their bodies, because if we can chuck it out amongst like around a corner, maybe some of them will come to investigate, and then we can nick them.
Not so bad. Let's take the albino.
I look at the orc and I say, "You're a big guy. You can carry one of them."
I was thinking of using the ogre's head as a puppet. This would probably work better. I like the idea
I'll
more.
sit. I'll
Harlem
stand
Ball.
inside the ogre's mouth and I'll just move it.
I'm behind both ideas. I think we puppet the ogre and we throw the albino ogre. Although tricking these little buggers down in their own homes, I'm not optimistic, but let's take a shot.
They are
might as
goblins.
well.
I look
Yeah.
like a glutton. It's my Saturday night pig out.
What's the worst that could happen? They already know that we're down here somewhere. I think. I was just doing my due.
As
So
my
I'm
one
gonna go
friend
ahead.
says, when the worst is about to happen, that's when you do catastrophic failure.
The worst is that's when the DM smiles.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to thoroughly search the ogre and the dead goblins for, primarily healing potions and junk like that. But, in this system, searching for cash and stuff doesn't have much relevance.
I mean,
Yeah.
you do pick up loose coins and things like that. It just maintains your economic level, but it's more about finding useful stuff than finding
Yeah, well, I'm looking
stuff.
for the key.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you do not find the key. You just bits and pieces of little. You find little bones on strings, like around the ogre's belt. There's like little bones on strings.
Nice.
All right. This could be their keychain,
Is this room anything else other than an interrogation room, or does it got other, like a fire pit or a bed?
There was like a bed and a table or whatever that was crushed by the wall collapsing on it. So
Okay.
you kind of surmise it was probably like a guard room.
How much like gear, as far as like coats and leather jerkins and things, do these goblins wear? Because I have that leather armor still from the guard post back then,
Yeah.
but have they got anything that might help me cover up my arms or anything?
No.
No. All right. Well, then I'm gonna cut off one of their ears and stick it in my pouch. Might find someone willing to pay for it
Okay.
later on. I'm always thinking about that. And then I'm just going to kind of lean on this spear and kind of figure out what these big people want to do.
All right. So that brings us to Saucy.
Hey, I'm just an elf. I'm not that big. Okay.
That's true. Are they 4? Size 4?
Elf is 5.
Elves are 5 too.
Yeah,
Okay.
nearly double your
Human.
size.
Yeah.
Well, there's a doorway that we have not yet been through, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay, and we've listened, and are there echoes on the far side, or can we hear another ogre enclave?
all you hear is the cackling echoes that it's just general in your surroundings. But it's not like it's
Okay.
all the time and constant. It's just like every now and then there's a
I'm gonna put my ear to the floor.
You do that, I'm opening the door and taking a look.
Cool.
Okay.
I've got the ogre's head on a stick and I'm imitating its voice. And trying to speak for the ogre and say, "Come in here, guys. I've got a job for you."
Okay,
Oh,
you
cool.
can do a social check difficulty 7. So on a success of a difficulty 7, you actually will pull off fake ogre and it will actually be real.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, but difficulty 7 means a D20.
Hey,
Could
gotta
happen.
be-
I'll take anything.
right?
And you need to roll a 1.
Nope.
No.
No.
Perhaps he was looking.
As you can tell with this game, anything goes.
We've got a lot of highfalutin ideas.
All ideas are no action. So you put
All
your
right.
you put your ear to the door and you hear nothing of significance. But I mean, you can actually kind of gaze through the door because the door is ajar, and you just see
Yeah,
sort
yeah.
of a darkened corridor going into blackness.
Calm down. I think he's just bound in the room.
Okay, good. Yeah. Do we have any way to communicate with this now calmed down goblin hostage?
No, he's trying to remain unnoticed and unremembered on the chair.
Ah, that's right. We've got a goblin.
Damn!
I'm gonna ask Nutty. I'm gonna be like, Nutty, right?
Yeah.
And I'll ask him for like a little bit of rope, and I'm gonna grab like a rock that would fit in my mouth. I'm gonna cram it in the goblin's mouth, and like
no!
bind
I'm
it to
trying-
the guy. And I'm gonna say, you gotta come with us, because I'm
You're that kind
I don't
of
have
guy.
much. I'm that kind of guy.
So, use goblin in the world.
Who's that? Oh, we don't have a name for him. He just comes with us.
The middle one wants to calm me down. The little one's trying to kill me.
You become the Gomp. The Gomp.
Pretty soon we'll just train him to like carry our things.
That's right.
If he wants to self-domesticate, I don't have a problem with that.
There you go.
Use goblin in the world. I think maybe we should just throw him through the door and see if they come to investigate. Because he'll be live then.
Yeah,
Right? They
sure.
may-
Use him as bait.
Yeah, let's use him as bait.
Try and help them or laugh at them. I don't know what goblins do when they're hurt.
I say though that we like kind of knock him on the head so he's a bit dazed, not like unconscious, but just enough to not like start screaming that we're here.
We can put it like the doors. We can open the door with his head.
That's
And then-
true. That's true. Let's do that.
Open the
Good
door.
idea.
Only a half orc. I've never heard common used quite that way.
Hands. We
Novel
don't
ways
need
to use
hands.
goblins. The stream should be called. So basically, you've now the goblin has a stone in his mouth. Is that right?
Yeah, I stuck a stone
Okay.
in his mouth and I like bound it around so that he can't scream.
So the
I've
band
never
and the
wasted
stoned
food
the
on a hostage
stoned
yet.
and gagged goblin. His head is used as a wedge to open the door. And again, it's just a corridor that sort of becomes darkness.
I'm not wasting food on a goblin ever again. Not with
Not with Oslo.
the Ozmeister. Okay. So basically, this corridor we're looking down is basically going north at this point.
Correct.
Got it.
Sounds good.
And it's a sizable corridor we can get down with
Yeah.
comparative ease.
Yep. Two people next.
I'm
to
looking
each other.
for dwarven. I'm no expert at carving and stuff, but I'm looking for anything that will hint at the dwarvenness of this place, right? Do we have like are the tiles on the floor ancient and hand carved, like typical dwarvy things?
Yes. So you start to examine as you're moving into the passageway. You start to examine the walls and the floors and things like that. And as you say, the craftsmanship of the stonework on the floors, although it's quite beaten and damaged from age, and the variety of things that must have been living in here since the times it was built, the original craftsmanship does actually look of a very high quality. It's all carved stonework, and some of the intricacies of the actual stones are quite incredible in terms of the things that you've normally seen. So this is not. People obviously took the time to build this, and each stone was lovingly laid. And when you get to some of the buttress pieces that segment the various corridors and things, and the vaults to the ceilings, there is some carvings on those that look dwarven in nature.
So we've been you were cutting out a bit. So we've been walking down this for a little while, just seeing all this.
Yeah. So it's the corridor is sloping downwards somewhat. So you've probably gone a level down if you were to use D&D terms. But it's just a gentle slope downwards.
Hopefully we haven't gone a level down in Rappahatchik. Go down a level there, and you've gone from the 3rd circle of hell to the 27th circle of hell.
There you go.
So you come to a door that is on the eastern side, on the western side of the corridor, and ahead of you the corridor ends at a dead end, and there is a second door to the east. The one to the west is ornate, and is again the dwarven nature, the carved, inlaid work of the wood and everything like that, is of quite a high quality. The door on the other side looks like it's a replacement and was made by someone of a far lesser skill.
Which way do you guys want to go?
Is the poor constructed door, are we able to see through cracks in the door, or are they firm seals?
Oh, good idea.
You could probably see through the cracks in the door. Do a senses check. Oh, actually, no, you won't need to. You can tell that there's a flickering light inside. Like from flame. The only difference is the flame is blue.
Do we hear anything on the far side of this door?
At this point, no. You can do a senses check, difficulty 3.
That's a D6.
Correct.
So everybody does it, or?
Yeah, everyone can do it.
We're all there. You got your character.
Might as well. Senses check D3. So
Difficulty 3. Need a 1. No.
2, 3. No, me neither.
All we hear is a whimpering goblin behind us.
So, yeah.
I use the butt end of the spear and I slap it. Quiet, you.
It swallows the stone.
Oh no. I turn to these two. Does anyone know the goblin Heimlich?
Oh, I don't even know where their hearts are, man. Although I know a little bit about food prep, I don't want to eat one, but I'd butcher one just to find out.
All right.
Okay.
How about, since this thing is choking because I'm too impulsive, we just like crack open the door and shove it in and see what happens. They might come out to investigate and we could like...
We may even be able to take the gag off its mouth and just leave it outside the door, causing them to open it, and then we can spring a surprise.
Do like a ding dong ditch, and instead of leaving some crap on the door, you leave a choking goblin.
No, well,
I
if
like
we're going to do that, we have to put him in a flaming shit bag. Comes out, starts stomping on a goblin.
I just happen to have a bag.
I didn't know goblins kept dogs.
There you go. Yeah, I don't know. If you guys want, I'll like motion this to you guys and whisper like, "Do you want me to go peek in, see what I see?"
Yeah, absolutely. Let's get as much intel as we can before we
All
get
right.
beat up.
So I'm gonna like sneak over there, and then peek in the cracks and kind of see what's going on in the room.
Okay, do a senses check difficulty 2.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I did succeed. Yes. What do I
Okay.
see?
So, through the sliver of a crack in the badly tied together door panel, you kind of move, your eye moves, and you can kind of see an aspect of the room, but not the whole room entirely.
Okay.
There is a torch in the center of the room. Well, not really a torch. It's actually like a pedestal with a bowl in it with a blue flame burning in this bowl.
Hmm.
And you do notice some shadows against a wall of something moving around in the room. There is a lot of things on the wall, skeletons of creatures on the wall that kind of like all have like ropes or strings through them. They're all kind of tied and hung on hooks on the wall.
I start to really be grateful that I was rescued and creep back and describe the scene. Guys, they got this creepy blue flame. There's some guy knitting bodies in there, and he just leaves them up until they rot.
This
Kinda
may be a
freaked
relative of the guy I met.
Does that require magic to be blue?
I don't
That-
know. I'm just a messenger.
Oh, blue flame could be just a high carbon source like methane.
Blue flame!
Exactly.
What's with them in bones?
Well, it's a dungeon, so we're assuming
Blue flame.
somebody's gluing some acid together.
Mm. I turn to these two and I say, we could peek inside by opening the door, but I don't want to risk whatever those shadows are because it looks like there could potentially be a lot of guys in
I'll
there.
tell you what we'll do. We can open the door, and we can. What we'll do is instead of tying his hands behind his back, we'll tie the guy's hands at his side, and put a sweater or a cloak over him, so that it doesn't look like he's tied up at first. It won't work from 6 feet away, but it'll work from across a room and a half.
Yeah.
Then stuff him in there. He can say whatever he wants. Let's see what reaction they get.
Before we do this, though, I want to listen on the new or the better constructed door, the dwarven door.
Yep.
And just see if I can hear obvious audible noise. If there's a party going on in there, dinner.
Okay, so if you're just doing a cursory examination, you don't hear anything. But if you want to do a proper, like, listen there and, you know...
Yeah, put my ear right up to the door.
Okay, so difficulty 4, senses check.
Big
Cut
lad.
out.
So
Yeah, cut out there.
difficulty 4,
That's
senses
yeah.
check.
Census check.
Yeah.
You got this.
No.
Okay.
I do like-
Can we dedicate like however time we need to look into this, or do you guys feel like it's worth it with that door?
No.
All right.
We're confident there's something in there. We just wanted to know if it was really local and maybe coming out the door.
Yeah,
That does not seem to be the case. We could just casually walk in and see what happens.
How
As long
about
as we wear goblin meat shield.
yeah?
Like goblin meat shield.
Let's do it. I was actually thinking the same thing.
Yeah, it's like the effect of going into the Crusades wearing a pork chop.
Well, for the halfling, it's gonna be not so bad.
Oh yeah, you wear the goblin.
I'll wear. Yeah, sure. I'll do that. Actually, let's tie him up. I'm sitting here to explain this. I like your idea about tying him up and putting the cloak on him. I'll walk right behind him, holding the spear, so it looks
The goblin
like
just like
the semblance of a.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah,
exactly. Instead of it being that deal where you've got one person on top and on the bottom in a trench coat, we've got you like this, like a pantomime horse,
Yeah.
but you're not in the costume, you're just hiding behind it.
all
Exactly,
the goblin
let's do
sees is you guys, like, he doesn't understand what you're saying, so he hears yeah, okay, and then you're pointing to him, and then like upside down and
Yeah, well,
so you just see the fear kind of like his eyes going.
well, I have enough affection for the Hobbit that I'm taking out the fact that my giving him food to calm him down ultimately had no effect. I'm blaming the goblin for that.
there we go. Yeah, I say we do that.
I'm all for that.
All right, so let's do
Go
that.
back to knocking an arrow now that I have one.
I'm ready to
There you
throw an axe.
So you're
at
going, you're
Right.
attempting to go
Person in the
through
road
the
first.
ornate door.
You
Cool.
should change that to
the
I
roadiest person.
change it to I need to throw an axe.
There you go. So
So-
yeah, I'm gonna. Whenever we do go in, I'm gonna be like walking right behind this.
All right. So you push the ornate wooden door and it does not budge because it is locked.
Oh, the rough door's locked.
Not the rough door. The you want to go through the ornate
Oh,
door.
the other one. Oh, okay.
Well, we're not going in the ornate door. That's the one we have.
Ah, you're going
difficulty
through the
listening
other
at.
one. Okay.
Yeah, if it's locked, let's just go and check the
Yeah,
other
so,
one.
So okay, so to clarify, the goblin is strapped to the halfling.
No, not strapped. Like, oh, guys, I have a Garrett, which is basically like nunchucks, except instead of like
I know what a
flinging them
Garrett
around.
is.
Okay, yeah.
I'm not a big fan of Garrett's because they are kind of cruel.
No. I'm just gonna use it to like. I'll hold one end, put it around his neck, hold the other end, not chokingly, but just to like have like a handle for this shield.
Yeah.
Like an Xbox
Okay.
controller.
Sure. And I'll just like walk behind, and it'll be perfect because I can see his head, and it's like go this way. He'll be like, okay.
I don't have the ideology of a monk or a druid on this one. I was just pointing out that I've seen animals treated that way, and it kind of bothers me. Although
Oh,
these
yeah.
the animals don't bite me. These goblins have already put 2 injuries into me. I'm losing my affection for them.
There you go.
So okay, do a physical check difficulty 1 to manipulate the movement of the goblin.
Oh, me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. What difficulty level?
1.
Oh, he can go DL1. Okay, then we can't
Okay.
improve that. Take a shot.
All right. Yeah, I succeed.
Okay, so you can basically just force him through this makeshift door that's there.
Sweet.
So the door, are you trying to do this quietly or are you just shoving him in?
Well, I'm just gonna like open the door casually, and then I'm like walking the dude in kind of forcefully,
Okay.
while trying to like watch over his shoulder.
Now he's still gagged, is that correct?
Yeah, because he's
Okay.
choking on that rock, right?
Well, he swallowed the rock, but yeah.
A rock down his throat,
Yeah.
a gag over his mouth, and a noose around his neck.
So
Are you sure we're the good guy?
this
I don't
game
know
is morally
anymore.
ambiguous.
After I caused the forest fire, my moral compass was like,
Yeah.
Exactly. After environmental devastation, what's killing a goblin? Right?
So you open the door and it's like as it scrapes open and then falls off the top hinge, so it's like only on the bottom hinge now. And you
Great.
force walk the goblin in. So into the
Cool.
room. The room is all the walls have these like skeleton and skulls and things hanging from these cables. Some of them are on chains. The big ones, you know, that looks like a woolly mammoth head and things like that, are all on chains. And you've got this little pedestal with a bowl and the blue flame in the middle that's lighting the room. And to the south, there is a raised section, a plinth, which on top of that is, to your way of thinking, this is some kind of apothecary's table. But there's all manner of weird shit going on this table. There's like little wisps of smoke, and there's things bubbling, and there's a scroll or two that is opened up, and hunched over this is a guy wearing a robe that is covered in small bones and rat skulls and things like that. He's of about your size, and in one hand, the hand is green, but is very shriveled with age. And it's
So he's
holding.
Sorry, you cut out. He's holding a head.
He's holding. He's in his shriveled hand. The hand is shriveled with age.
Shriveled
He's
hand,
holding
okay.
a stave with an orb on the top.
I heard shriveled hand, something about something, and then top.
So
Sorry,
he's holding a
video's bad.
stave with an orb on the
A
top.
stave.
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
Like a
All right.
quarterstaff, effectively.
Yeah.
Okay,
All right.
so he's got a withered limb and he's holding an artifact of some description.
Yeah, and he's hunched over this table where there's like bubbling things happening. And obviously he stops when he hears the goblin behind him, and he kind of begins to motion and look over his shoulder. So you have a surprise round if you want to do an attack, or you can just let it play out.
How many skeletons are on the wall right now?
Hundreds.
So this place is littered with them.
Yeah, the whole wall is just covered with different skulls, skeletal pieces.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, so I'm thinking he might reanimate some of these things.
Well, if he animates all of them, we're all dead. There's no saving throw.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is, but there is none.
If we were to, did you guys follow me inside and are just kind of holding back, or are you guys waiting to see
Yeah,
what
I've got
happens?
the bow and I'm kind of crouching behind you.
I had an axe ready to throw at the robiest person in the room. So
Sweet.
The
Since we
robiest.
have, so
Absolutely.
if we were to try to subdue this guy, he's got some old withered hand, could be fragile, but if we are able to like charge this goblin at him, throw the goblin on him. You said, you said that this guy's about the same size as me.
Yes.
He means the goblin.
Yeah,
Oh, the goblin. Okay.
It's got a green arm, a shriveled green arm, but you would assume that he's a goblin.
sorry. Yeah, the video's
hold
cutting
on,
out a
Eric.
bit, Bob's, but that's
Sorry?
okay. So
What's the species of our new friend with the shriveled arm?
You don't know, he hasn't turned around, but his arm is green, so we'd assume that he's a goblin.
okay.
He's about the
So-
same height.
I'm just gonna whisper back to is it Sassy and Nutty?
Saucy, yep.
Saucy. Okay. I'm gonna whisper back. Should we charge him?
Yeah, let's not kill him. Let's subdue him.
All right. So with that, Oslo's just gonna start running with all his might, using this guy as a battering ram. This poor goblin. And as I get to the guy, I'll let go of one of the handles, let it swing, and push the goblin onto this other guy we assume is a goblin, to see if we can knock them both over. And then maybe we do like a dog pile thing, but we'll see how it goes from
Okay, so
wherever this starts.
it essentially will be a tackle. So do a physical check, difficulty 2.
can we pile in and help?
Yeah, so for each
to
person,
charge that?
for each person assisting, you add 1 dice, so you add 2 dice to that.
2 dice to
Yeah,
that.
well-
Oh, sweet.
We're doing the same thing.
Let's
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
On the
All
way
right.
his-
So I've already got 2, so that makes 4.
Yeah.
And of course, I didn't grab enough dice, but that's okay. I can roll one of them again. I did get a 1 though, so yeah, we have succeeded.
Okay, so the first goblin crashes into this other goblin, you assume, who head first into the table, falls backwards, lands on the ground, and everyone just piles in on top of him.
Okay.
So you've got guy in robe, goblin on top, Oslo on top, and then the other 2.
Okay. Well, I'm pretty much pinned in the middle of
you
this
would count
pile.
as you would count as ensnared. Everyone's ensnared except the guy on top.
All right. That's what I'm doing, being ensnared. Does he?
So I'm just waiting for
Yeah, okay.
is
Yeah,
Greg
yeah.
coming back?
Yeah, he's just. My mom got home right
Oh,
now.
okay.
Walked
Alright.
through the doors.
All right. So is he
I'm
able
thi-
to hear us?
I'm thinking.
Yeah, he's in the room just behind
Okay,
this.
alright, okay, cool. Cool.
So I'm thinking though, Nutty, if this guy's not making any noise or anything, you should use some more of that rope of yours.
Yeah, if he's not trying to cast any spell, I'm fishing through my bag for the binding rope, and I'm going to start tying off that green withered hand and try and pull it away from the staff.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay. So because it's a surprise round, you all did your actions in the first round. This is the next round, which the guy on the ground gets to act first because his initiative is higher.
Okay.
And we'll say for this that the other little goblin acts last.
The one that's tied up.
The
and
one that's the
gagged
sandwich
and
meat.
all that.
Okay. So the guy on the ground attempts to break free of this ensnarement. So the difficulty is going to be Corey's ranks in physical plus 1 difficulty for each person on top of him. So that's going to be what's your ranks in physical at the moment?
I have 1 rank in physical.
So 1 rank. So that's 4 plus the base makes 5. So it's a difficulty 5 check. And he fails to do so, so he is still ensnared.
Cool.
Right, so that brings us to Oslo.
Oh, but I'm like in the middle of this pile still, right? Or are
Yes,
people already
yes.
getting off?
Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna see if I can reach over past the goblin that I'm on top of to the wither-handed one, and just, I don't know, knock him on the face with my hand, I guess, or with the blunt end of my dagger to try and continue. Because when we get off this guy, it'd be best if he's a bit dazed so that we can tie him up. So I'm just gonna try and do some non-lethal damage to kind of conk the guy just a little bit.
Okay. The dagger doesn't really have a stun effect.
But if I
yeah,
use like the blunt end, because I just don't want to do any type of not lethal damage. I don't want to hurt them. I could use my hand, I
you
guess.
can
I
choke
don't
him.
know.
You can choke him.
Oh, that's true. I had that Garrett.
Yep.
I guess, yeah. I'll do the choking.
Okay.
See if we can hold him until
So he would just
Nutty
need
can
to do
tie
a
him up.
constitution check. What's your weapon
Wait,
skill with the
it's-
garrote?
Spellcasting requires speaking. You may not be able to.
Oh, good point.
What's your weapon skill, weapon proficiency with the garrote?
I don't have any skills in it yet. This is the
Okay.
first time I've really been able to start using it. So
All right, so it's a difficulty 1 check for him then.
Well, roll 1 dice.
And he does not succeed. Sorry, no, he does. No, hang on, I'm rolling the wrong dice here.
sorry, video's cutting out. He's succeeding on what?
I rolled the wrong dice. I'm rolling the correct ones this time. So he successfully evades your choking attempt.
Oh, okay.
You can't get the garrote around the top of his head, sort of thing. Sort of like smacks you with his stave.
Or he just gets his hand under it.
So Saucy.
Okay.
Saucy, you are
Yes,
second
this
second from the
withered
top.
hand guy is my target.
Yep.
We're all piled on him.
Yeah.
And one of us.
You
Okay.
Nutty
You're-
is on the
you're
top, so
second from the top.
Nutty is on the top, so he can do whatever he likes. But you are technically ensnared by him lying on top of you.
Okay, well, I'm gonna, to put it in classical D&D terms, I'm gonna use my movement to stand up, and I'm gonna use my attack to smack him with the flat of my cleaver to try to,
We want him alive.
Okay. So you need to do a physical check to try and move. Obviously, you've got Nutty on top of you. So the difficulty is equal to Nutty's physical ranks, which I don't think Nutty has any physical ranks, so it'll just be a difficulty of 1.
No, he's a half orc. He will.
No, he hasn't got
His
any
ranks or his bonuses?
No, only ranks count for this.
Sorry.
So it's
Are you saying I have to be his physical ranks or his bonus
ranks?
ranks? Good. He has no ranks yet. You're
Yeah,
right.
So it's just a 1. It's
Good.
D2s.
I get to roll against that.
Correct.
So that's DL1.
Yep.
Yeah.
Made it.
So Nutty, you are now sort of flipped off the top of the pile and standing next to the pile.
Okay.
You like that? Okay, cool. So I came up off, and then can I grab my new war hacks? And I don't want to hit him with the sharp end. I want to hit him with the flat of it. But, you know, I'm there to subdue, no doubt about it.
Well, hitting him with the weapon is going to do damage, whether it's
Whether
Well,
it's
me
bludgeon
too.
or not.
yeah. Hitting
Okay,
someone in the head
tell you what.
is never a good idea.
I'll smack him. I'll do some damage with the hand axe just to let him know we're serious.
Okay. So, let me just check all of this.
He's prone, virtually helpless.
Yeah, so
Covered by me and the goblin too.
yeah, he's
To be
got
fair,
he's bound or ensnared, which is 5. And he's stationary, so that's 6. And you would technically have higher ground, makes 7.
Cool.
And it'll probably be a rear attack as well because you're standing over the top of him. He's lying face down on the ground.
okay. The hand axe. Made it.
Okay.
No
You just-
experience gain again.
Smack him in the head. Doom.
Don't want to kill you, but I need you to relax so we can have a conversation. Just wanted to get your attention. That's me.
Nice turn.
All right. So, Nutty.
I'm now been flipped off, so I'm standing or
That's right, yeah.
lying to the side.
You're standing next to the pile.
And is the staff invisible, like visibility?
Yeah, you can see the staff is sort of sitting out just outside underneath the pile.
All right, I'm gonna try and grab the staff from him.
Okay. All right. So do a physical check. Difficulty is.
Are you trying to take it away from him or just grab?
No, I'm trying to take it away from him.
Yeah. So
Pull it out of his hand.
the difficulty is 3.
Okay.
It's D6s. And it's physical check?
It's a physical check. Yeah.
Okay, good. Oh, yeah. He's got a
Wait,
2
I
story
used a
value
story
token.
So
It was-
he's struggling with it, and you manage to wrench it out of his hands and stumble towards the pedestal with the flame, and you turn back to face him.
You
All right.
succeeded as a physical thing.
So that brings us to the goblin in the middle of the sandwich, who basically can't do anything because he's bound and gagged. Okay. So that brings us back to the original goblin. The hood of the robe, as he's struggling around, falls back, and you find this sort of shriveled, bald goblin that looks ancient, but is surprisingly strong for the skeletal frame with skin, like wrinkled skin just wrapped around it. And he says in
Gross.
common, "What are you doing?"
He broke up. Did you guys hear him? What did he say?
No.
So,
What'd you?
okay, what did you hear?
I heard wah, and then ah.
Yeah.
So the head of the hood of the robe falls
Yeah,
back.
that came back.
Yeah. And then the goblin in common says, "What are you doing?"
Oh, an intelligent fellow. I'm freaked out by this, and I grab the goblin in front of me by the neck, and I use his head as a club to just be like, ah! And like try and hit the guy to just get him to be quiet so that these other two big people can subdue him.
Okay.
I'm just trying to help knock the dude unconscious.
All right. So
The
we'll
most
use,
Panicky.
most panicky hoblet I've ever met.
so we'll just use improvised weapon again.
Okay.
And a standard attack. It would be
I've got to get good at this so I can use like one of these days. I'm going to use a wagon wheel. Don't know how, but it'll happen.
with blades on it.
No.
Yeah.
We'll find a goblin anti-grav pad.
Yeah. So, improv weapon attack, right? So,
yeah.
okay. So we're the same size, but I have a base score and positioning. Do I technically have higher ground since I'm top of the dog pile now?
Yes. But he's bound and ensnared, so that's 5. So that gives you 7 straight up.
Cool. All right. So this is just a D2. Come on. Oh yeah. The skull works.
All right. So that does an injury to the goblin that you used as well. So he just breaks his nose on the back of this guy's head.
Cool. 2 and 1.
All right. So that brings us to Nutty.
No,
Sorry,
Saucy.
to Saucy. Saucy, my bad.
So I'm primarily concerned with Withered Arm. He speaks common. He's been de-weaponized by Nutty, and he's started
been
to ask questions.
De-staved.
Yeah.
Sorry?
He's been
De-staved.
de-staved.
Yeah, he's been de-staved, exactly. Now, I'm going to hold his hands, right? And I'm going to try to do it in a non-combative way, but I definitely want to make sure he cannot do hand gestures.
Ooh, yeah.
I'll
Good
hold his
idea.
hands, and I want to say, because I'll answer his question. What are you doing here? And I'll say, we came in here because we wanted to just have a picnic and stay out of the sun. And then the door closed up there, and we need to find a way to get out of here. Can you help us?
Okay, do a social check difficulty 6.
Oh, shit.
Oh my goodness.
Difficulty 6.
He'll be
Social?
like, me
Social
no
check,
speak coming.
No, I'm a half elf. I have some social on me.
There you go.
Are you a politician?
No, I'm not a politician.
Oh, that's true. What's Saucy's occupation?
Chef.
A cook.
Cook.
A cook. Oh, that's right. Okay. What did Nutty do?
It's a blacksmith.
Nutty's a blacksmith.
Oh, that's right. Okay. I remember now. You guys told me that when I was
Yeah,
in the
with the
chair.
superhero archetype, and I have the creative archetype. No, I missed on both, and they were
Okay.
unsavable.
Oh, bummer.
So that brings us to Nutty.
So I take it he's still quite afraid and
I'm
Uncooperative.
to the staff.
There's
and I
nothing.
don't
I've said
feel
nothing
cursed.
about him being feared. There's nothing about him being feared.
And a quick look around the room. We're still alone with the hooded
Yep.
goblin.
At a
All
quick
right.
glance, there's no one else in the room.
Well, then, if he won't listen to reason, I'm going to beat him in the head with his own weapon. That is subdue damage. I imagine I could try and do.
you're gonna hit him with the shillelagh.
So this is technically a quarterstaff. So you can mark down quarterstaff. You have a success in that. If you did succeed, did you?
Oh no, I haven't rolled yet.
Oh, okay.
This is a coup. Is this called a coup de grace?
Are
you trying to finish him
No,
off? Or are
he
you
hasn't got
trying-
enough injuries for that.
Oh, okay, good. I thought I heard you say that, and I was confused.
No, no.
No, yeah. All right.
You
So what
spent this one, right?
difficulty? Is this-
It works out because he's on the ground and all that kind of stuff. It works out to be a difficulty of a combat score of 7, which is D2s.
Yeah, because he's like bound and ensnared, and you guys have the higher ground and all that, and a base score. That's easy enough.
Yep. You roll 2 of those, and all you need is an odd one. You got him.
Odd.
Yes.
So it's a success.
So you smack him up about the head, and he spits out a tooth, but strangely he starts laughing.
That's so creepy.
Okay, great.
All right. Well,
So it's now his turn.
what do we do with this guy?
Oh yeah, he's a barbarian. We're just pumping his rage up.
There you go.
Okay, so now there's 2 of you who've gotten off of him, so his difficulty is base, plus 1 for Oslo and 1 for the goblin. So that makes a
Cool.
difficulty of 3.
3 for difficulty.
I don't know. I don't know if I want to keep him alive anymore.
Well,
He's starting to scare me.
is this still your turn?
No, I'm just saying we keep trying to do bludgeon. Like, I'm gonna call out.
All right.
Shit does that.
So
We're not having
this
very
guy
much luck being
stands
peaceful
up.
with these guys.
He stands up, throwing the goblin and Oslo off of him,
No.
and he turns with his back to the table to face you. And this horrible, old, disheveled goblin with just covered in these this bone robe, and he's obviously got a missing fang that's just been knocked out, and his breath stinks of death. It's obviously he likes to eat the things he's putting on the walls, and he eats them raw.
Ugh. That's disgusting. That's a lot of meat, though. You said one of these bones was like a mammoth. Like, this guy can eat.
So not a vegetarian then.
No. He makes
I'll
vegetables.
move more.
He makes vegetables. Oh, man.
Preferentially eats the rumen like wolves do.
So
So
that's what
he
he did,
takes-
though, with his turn? He threw everybody off and he
That's his
cackled
turn.
at us?
Yep.
Okay.
So technically he's no longer ensnared, but he is still counted as on the ground for combat score calculation. So we go back to Oslo.
Okay. So I've got the Garrett in my hand, but so when he threw me off, the goblin that I was using for a club before, we both separated, right?
Yeah, so that goblin is on the ground
So that's gone.
with
So-
a bleeding forehead and a busted nose.
A choking, like a rock in his throat, beating head. Just a bad day for that guy. Okay. I'm going to, I guess, as a quick action, put the Garrot away. I don't know how to say it.
Yeah.
But I'm going to put that away and draw my dagger. And should I try and tackle this guy and hold my blade to his throat, do you think? Like, do we still want to reason with this guy or not? Because that's going to determine what I'm going to do, I think. Well, I don't know if it'll determine.
Yeah, I
what I
mean,
do.
yeah.
I'm going to make it random. Oslo is now having thoughts. So on a 1, he's going to go in for an attack and just try and stab this dude's neck. And on a 2, he's going to like try and suppress him. It's a 2, so it's a suppressant. So I'm going to go ahead and make a non-lethal attack to try and hold my dagger to him. So base score, we're the same
It's
size.
physical, and the difficulty is 3.
Okay, cool. Physical difficulty 3, d6s, base die, 1 rank, and that's it. Darn. Okay, I am no good. I am unsuccessful.
So he just quickly sidesteps you. He seems a lot more nimble than your average goblin from the ones you've encountered so far.
He's different than the ones, right?
Yeah, I
what
mean
you
he's
said.
old and
Okay.
shriveled, but he is actually more nimble than they are.
Hmm.
All right, so that brings us to Saucy.
Must get a lot of protein from these guys he eats.
Saucy?
Things are changing.
Yeah, nimble guys got to be stopped. But I want him to take some more damage first. What's the physical engagement situation? Can I safely fire a bow at him?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to do that then.
Nice.
So I've got. How does this work? Where's the combat chart?
All right, so you
So
got
you have a-
base.
You have a base score. You're not
Got
bigger
it.
than him or anything.
No, so you get close range. So that's
Oh,
3.
yeah, that's true.
He has 3 injuries,
Now,
so that makes
Each ally
4.
that attacked your target in the previous round, right? You have +1 per ally.
Doesn't count for ranged. Suppression counts down
Oh.
at the bottom, but ranged attack, the previous one does not apply.
Makes sense.
So at the moment you're at 4,
Okay.
because he did move during the last turn. So
Oh, is he unarmed? You took his staff, right, Nutty?
yes,
Yeah.
so that
Yep.
makes it 5 d6s.
Sweet.
E6. Oh
You can do it.
no, I can't.
So he
Oh,
he
Now I have to
deftly
see if I run out of ammo again.
he deftly
Oh, yeah.
moves out of the way of the arrows. It just pegs into a skull behind him on the wall.
Although I can do 2 as a full action, right?
Yes, you can fire
You
twice.
But then you have to roll twice, right, for the
For the ammo.
ammunition
That's right.
or something.
I've already done that. Yeah, no, I didn't even get a 2.
Mm.
So both arrows just fly past him as he just deftly
Well,
moves.
it's a new toy. I don't even have a rank in it yet.
Is he standing close to the altar?
Yes.
Ooh.
Can I try and jump on the altar so I have high ground? and
Careful
attack
of
him?
the blue flame.
Yeah. We'll just say he's a little bit off to the side, so you can definitely do that. So difficulty 1 to just jump on top of the altar.
Sorry, you cut out a bit there.
It's difficulty 1 to jump on top of the altar.
So is it just one roll I would get to do that?
Yeah.
And the consequences if I failed would be
You don't
You-
jump up.
You just don't jump. You kind of like second guess yourself and stop.
but can still run up to him
Yes, yeah, you'd be
and
next to
make an
him.
attack.
We're just trying to get the high ground here. So you're physical. You've got a bonus 2, 1 for being a superhero, 1 for being an orc. So you're rolling 3.
Okay. And I just
Right.
need an odd.
You got one.
Pass.
Yep.
So I jump up on the altar and then make an attack. So
So
I'm not smaller. I don't get that bonus.
you got a base score. He's half the size of you.
So he gets the bonus there.
The orcs, the half orcs are 6. Are these guys 3s?
Mm.
So you get the higher ground. You get
Right.
1 for his injuries. You get 2 for suppression because you had 2 shots fired at him. So
Oh, yeah,
that
'cause
makes
he
4.
And then unarmed.
And he is unarmed, which makes 5. And he was
Is he?
occupied. He was occupied with Oslo trying to trip him, which makes 6. So D4s.
Good force. Okay. And he gets to roll 2.
1.
Yes.
Aha.
All right.
That's
Succeeded.
I think that's my first natural 1.
Well, you get. And which
So-
weapon was that with?
I was with Warhammer now.
The Warhammer?
So you
So now you-
smack him upside the head with the warhammer.
Yeah,
Oh,
laugh
I-
at that friendly thing.
Nice.
What's the bounding gagged one do?
He's just on the ground. He's not doing anything.
Yeah, yeah.
He's into
Again,
it.
he's trying to remain unremembered and unnoticed. So it brings us back to the
Wrinkly guy, right?
the bone
the
road,
Witherling.
withered bone robe man,
To it.
and he starts speaking and moving his hands.
No.
So,
Chop his hands off.
Can
chop
I do
his
some
hands
kind
off.
of check to see if I can identify what this is?
yep, we'll do that in a
Oh,
second.
yeah.
Just hold on a moment.
Can't
Okay.
you learn spells that way? I was reading about that the other day in your manual about energy and stuff.
Just don't know if I put this table on here. Okay, anyway. So, number of dice equals the current ranks energy. That's fine. It's 3. Okay. So he successfully casts a spell where you can now attempt to learn from what he has done before the spell activates. So you need to do an education check, and the difficulty is 3.
That's 6s.
Is this something we're all doing or just the
Only
elf?
whoever decides they want to.
I want
Okay.
to,
Yeah, I'll try.
but you
Might-
got to
might
one
as well.
Yeah.
Might as well. So it's difficulty 3 to do
Education.
education. Okay. Oh, I do have a rank in that. Yes. All right.
Saucy had much better rolls last
Luck be
time.
with me. Ooh. Oh no, that won't work.
You got to roll a ton of dice. You did much better than we did.
No, I only got to roll 2. But if you get a 2 on this check, G, can you spend a story token to make it a 1? And
Yeah,
will
on
that?
any check? Yes.
So I'll learn the spell, but I won't. I mean, I remember I was reading about energy spells and stuff. When you learn how they do something, does that give you, like, if I did a natural one, would I be able to fill in an experience part for the energy, or is that only when you run out of energy?
It's only when you run out of energy you get energy experience.
Okay, so I guess I'll do the learning thing, sure,
Okay,
and
so
I'll spend
you
my
you learn
story token.
bouncing fireball.
You're cutting out.
So you learn bouncing fireball.
Bouncing fireball.
Oh,
Okay,
suck it!
that's cool.
So
No, that's not.
I could teach it to you later, though, and if
They
Here.
don't get to use it later, ever.
I instantly jump in the.
so we're just going to
Where's the
select.
hot tub?
I'm going to randomly select the target now. 1 to 2 is Nutty. 3 to 4
When is this goblin?
Yeah.
It's the first target is Oslo.
no,
A fireball smacks into you. This Hadouken!
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 We make the unverifiable claim that the goblin's still strapped to the front of him.
So you can do a protection. You can do a protection value check. So your PV, what is your PV?
Yeah,
is it
yeah,
1? So you just roll
So
a d20.
I have a PV of 1 on my leather armor, and
So
then
you can roll a single d20.
is this calculating protection value for this spell, or is it just the base?
It's the base.
Okay, so you only calculate protection value for like hits and things like that with regular weapons.
Yeah.
Okay, no, that makes sense. I mean, it's fire. There's not much else I can do. All right, so just 1, and what's the difficulty? Sorry, 3 or something, or
Is
oh wait,
yes,
just for
3.
protection
yes,
value.
3. Yeah. No,
For the
your
spell,
PV is
or-
1. It's just your PV that counts. So you roll a d20.
Yeah, because it's just the 1, right?
Yep, yep.
No, 16.
So you take
It
an
was nice knowing
injury
you
from the
guys.
fireball, and the fireball bounces off you, and next turn will hit someone else.
So I take an injury of fire.
Yes.
Okay, and does that mean? Oh,
You
Never
don't
mind.
catch a light or
don't
anything.
give the
It just
DM ideas.
if it was a bouncing, burning fireball, then you would also ignite as well. But it's not. It's just a plain bouncing fireball.
All right.
Okay. So that brings us to Oslo. It's your turn. So you've got a fireball that's just ricocheting off you.
Ugh. All right. So after grunting through that,
So hold on. There's still a fireball out there in the wild that's aggressive.
it's bouncing around, man.
He's gonna hit someone each turn, and he's gonna keep casting them.
Okay, I am going to
This guy needs
do a
to-
combination attack. I am
Okay.
first going to attempt to throw the dagger at the guy.
Yep.
Then I want to charge him and do a tackle. And if I am successful at tackling him, I want to then get the dagger out from wherever it lands on him. And I want to pin him to the ground with the pin effect of daggers
Okay.
on his robe or something so that he can't get back up very easily.
Okay.
So does that mean I do one thing per round, right? Or
Yes, but the pin effect. So the pin effect does damage. So your pin effect, because it's the third one, will triple damage. So you'd get the
Okay.
damage that you would normally from the throw, and you would get
Okay.
triple damage. So you do a potential of four injuries in this combination. Yes.
triple damage on that? Okay,
So-
so first step is throwing the dagger at him, right?
Yeah. So you got to do it in order in the way
So-
that you've specified.
Okay, so base score.
He's the same size as you.
I'm not-
Same size. Positioning. I don't really have anything for that either.
He has
Emotional
2
state.
suppression, makes it 3.
Oh yeah, from
You get
those.
an ally from
Yeah, he's
thing,
not
so
surprised.
so
He
that's
did
4.
attack the previous round.
Yeah, and he's
So that
occupied
brings
from
it to
casting a
5.
spell, makes 5.
Sweet. Okay. Let's do
So
that.
D6s.
So that makes it a D6 again. Okay. and
Sorry,
I have a
you
rank
are
in-
you close
dagger.
range, so it makes it 7.
I have what?
Close range.
Oh, close range.
Yep.
Okay, cool. So that does make it. Okay, so sweet. D2. All right. Chuck this dagger. I did get him. I got him.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Right.
I just don't want to kill this guy.
I know. Like, that's why I'm really hesitant. But then he starts throwing bouncing balls that are on fire. And I'm like, oh no.
No, we can't have a maniac out on the loose, especially when, somehow Garrett's going to say, "Oh, by the way, it starts hitting you now." And you're, what?
Yeah.
All right. So that brings us to Saucy.
It damn does.
I'll be right back.
Sure.
Do I have a rough idea how many injuries this withered spellcaster's taken?
Well, he's just been hit in the chest by a dagger, and you would know that he's probably about halfway.
Okay, yeah, because I put one shot into him.
Yep.
Okay, if he's only halfway, we got a lot of damage to do still, so I'll put another shot into him.
Okay. So you're shooting twice, or you're just going to shoot once?
No, I'm going to shoot twice. Let's
Okay.
get him going. D6s like last time?
So let's see. Base, and he is standing. You don't have any other. So, well, you got the suppression from the last round that you shot. So there's 2 of those. So that's 3. He's occupied, makes 4. Close range makes 6 D4s.
That's
D4s.
D4s. That suits me better. D4s with the bow. Yes!
Okay, so arrow just
Ha.
hits him in the shoulder. Brings us to Nutty. Don't forget to roll your 2 dice for your ammunition.
Am I still in range of attacking while standing on the altar?
Yes, he
Has he
hasn't
moved
actually
yet?
moved. He hasn't moved.
Okay.
I did not lose ammo.
Am I able to attack him and then jump down behind him so that wherever the current fireball is, the location of it, I put myself between me and him.
Yep, you can.
So if the ball does come for me, he's directly in front.
Yep.
At least. So I'll attack first while I'm on the high ground, and then I'll jump down. All right. So adding that all up, it's still 4, or difficulty?
So base
Sorry,
score,
3?
higher ground, you get 2 suppression from Saucy. So that's 4. He's occupied makes 5. So D6s.
Okay. So, other way. 2 4s. Nada.
So it's a swing and a miss, unfortunately.
Yep.
Okay, so
That was
bring-
from on top of the pillar thing.
Yeah, from on top of the thing.
That was on
So
top of the pillar.
that brings us to his turn. So now he's sustained quite a few injuries. So he's like,
Yeah.
but
What did
he has
Saucy do? Did
he has
he,
to do an
hit him with the
emotion
arrows?
check. He's got to do an emotion check.
Yeah, Saucy hit him with 1 arrow.
Sweet.
Yes.
All right. Motion check.
Well, I hit him with 1 arrow and I smacked him with the axe once.
Okay.
I
Nice.
think we've hit him about 5 or 6 times.
Oh wow.
So
Okay.
I'll just find the difficulty that's equal to his number of injuries.
Oh, that's crazy.
And he fails. So he panics and runs towards the makeshift door.
Mm,
But before we do
so-
anything else, we've got a fireball to contend with.
crap.
Oh, yeah.
I was hoping you forgot about.
It
No, the
can't-
fireball is amnesia.
It can't
It can
hit.
just keep bouncing around.
It can't hit Oslo again because it hit Oslo first. So it has to choose one of the other 2 targets.
Now this is a nice
In
fireball.
the same direction. So
Yeah.
the spellcaster is now running towards the door, which puts him in the pathway as well. Okay, and so it was 1 to 2 is Saucy, 3 to 4 is Nutty, and 5 to 6 is the spellcaster, and I rolled a 6. So he gets hit in the back by his own fireball, which kills him.
Really? That's so funny.
Goblin spellcaster ever.
That's great.
Which technically would be a coup
I'm
de
gonna
grace
look
as
at
well.
I'm gonna look at the goblin who's like been watching this whole thing. I'm just gonna like raise one eyebrow at him and be like, "See, we mean business." That's funny.
And then checking the room, is the table just got half-eaten stuff on it and cooking creepy stuff, or has it got demonic creepy stuff?
It's like demonic, creepy stuff / cooking, but not the kind of cooking that Saucy would be into. You do find a potion
Oh, cool.
and a scroll.
We don't know what this means, but we are able to read it in this rule set, correct?
Yeah, you would be able to read. You would be able to read the scroll, which would cast the spell.
But then the scroll would like disappear with the symbols,
the writing disappears.
Can you
on the
learn
scroll.
the spell from the scroll?
If you want to do symbol magic, yes, but that also erases what's on the scroll.
Yeah, with symbol magic,
yeah.
anytime you learn it or cast it, it just goes away.
If you use it as a weapon, you lose it. If you use
Yeah.
it as an educational tool, you lose it.
What if
Okay.
we were to? Do you still lose it if you copy the spell to something else?
Well, we need to
No,
learn
well,
how to
when
do
you
that.
learn the symbols, you basically have access. So you just keep writing copies and copies and copies of it. But if you fail to
Okay,
learn
so
the
you
symbols,
learn it
you
first,
cast the
it
spell, and then
disappears, and then you
yeah.
can write it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So-
Okay.
so in a rest, you can then write multiple copies of it.
That'd be cool.
So the scroll you would identify as a ray of blindness.
Okay.
We have a blindness.
No, identify as blindness.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, so this is a spell that says blindness.
Ray of Blindness.
Right.
Ray of blindness. Yeah,
Cool.
this is an effective attack tool.
Yeah.
So, and
That's
then the
cool.
potion, you have no idea what it is.
Who wants to
How does one
sample it?
determine potions in your universe?
Again, you would then, in herbalism, you would then attempt to identify the potion, and it would add to your herbalist ingredients.
Do you do the? Yeah, just sample it. Like
You can sample it, but then you've quaffed it, so then it takes effect.
oh, okay. So
Risky business.
any amount of a potion it's binary.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. So then, do we have to learn an identify spell? I mean, how are we going to find out what the potion does?
Herbalism.
You can find someone who would know
Right.
from what it looks like and what's in it, who would be able to identify what it is. They would need to know what the potion is,
Well,
or
then-
Oh, I know
or
a
you
guy.
would just drink it.
Oh yeah, you do. Okay,
I know a guy. He's
Yeah.
he's a bad guy. He's like a human supremacist. But I know a guy.
Damn human
Well-
supremacists.
No, I don't have a problem with that. So, okay.
As an elf, you should have a problem with that.
There's a reason why I gave it up to the Slytherin. I was like, yeah, you guys go take care of these guys. They're
What's the
jerks.
deal with Mr. Witherarm and
So
the magic
Mr. Witherarm
fireball?
is dead on the ground.
He's dead on the ground?
Yeah, it's just a pile of bones on the ground.
Oh wow!
Wait.
Did his fireball kill
As in
him?
he's wearing a robe that's covered in bones, so he's literally
Oh,
a pile of bones on the ground.
now is the fireball still in the room, or did it dispel when it's cast?
It was a grade 3 spell, so it's a fireball, and you add 1 for it to bounce, so it bounces to another target randomly. If you wanted to control it, you would add another one to be grade 4, and therefore you can control who it bounces to. But he didn't have control.
So is this thing still bouncing around, or is it because he was the caster, it went away?
It's gone,
No, it
and
dissipates
he's
out.
gone.
Cool.
And there's no other threat in the room right now?
Not that you can tell, no.
Okay, well, let's search the body.
Yeah.
All right, so there's a lot of bone trinkets and things like that about his person. There's quite a nice quality dagger. It's quality 3 on his
Cool.
belt. And you don't like touching his horrible, clammy, cold skin. But you do find a key.
Find a what?
You broke up.
You do find a key.
Ah,
He has
is
the
it
key.
sort of long and cylindrically looking?
No, it's a smaller key.
Hmm.
It looks
So,
too small for
recounting
the
'cause
one
you
for
broke
the outer door.
Okay,
So
well,
recounting because you broke up, we checked his body. He has a dagger of quality value 3.
Correct.
He has gross skin, and he's got the key.
Correct.
And the staff, is there any significant properties about that, or essentially
It's-
quarterstaff?
It's quite well made. And it would act as a quarterstaff, but it has some additional properties to it which you wouldn't know unless you started to use it. So
Okay.
you used it once. You used it once, and it felt quite nimble while you were using it. But you would have to kind of do an education check to figure out, or sorry, a mental check to kind of figure out what benefits it has.
Okay, like experimenting. I thought of something, guys. We have a goblin guinea pig we can test the potion on. We have like a little drop, just drop it on his tongue, see what happens.
It turns into a toad or something.
Yeah, but that doesn't really help us, because
That's
if
true.
it's a good effect, or
That's
don't forget, you can take it a potion and it can be doing an effect that you don't take advantage of. Like if you take a featherfall potion and you're standing around wondering what's going to happen,
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
right?
Okay, yeah, no, good point. I say we just pocket that then. Do either of
Yeah,
you
well,
guys want the
but yeah,
Do either
that-
of you guys want the dagger? Otherwise, I'll take it. I like
No, take-
daggers.
no, it fits
right.
your character.
Cool. I'll
And
take
then-
the dagger then.
Yeah, neither the elves nor neither the half elf nor the half orcs are very good with daggers.
No worries.
We prefer our pointy bits long.
And heavy.
And heavy. All right.
Well,
Cool.
by Hoblet standards. Okay, so we've got this key. Is there anything around the room that we can identify the key would fit into, like a lockbox? We're going to search under beds, whatever around that. No luck. Eh?
No.
If everyone's okay with it, I'm just going to keep using the quarterstaff for now.
No.
At least. I've already
What do you
got
like?
one.
Yeah, we definitely have to take this staff though, because if any of us pick up magic, we might be able to use it, right?
Yeah.
Although its keywords might be in a language you don't speak.
Yeah. Worst case scenario, I mean, you could probably get a good price too.
Yeah, we can move up to EL 3.2.
If you is the guy's bony robe, is that thing like completely destroyed, Gareth, or would it be worth taking? Thinking about getting some new rags.
I'm not going to worry about harvesting the dungeon right now.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, it's up to you. I mean,
Well,
it may have some significance.
Because it's an interesting robe covered in
Yeah,
bones.
that's a good point.
You know,
I see what you're saying. I thought
Maybe the church is even concerned or interested about it.
yeah, good idea. It's probably worth a story value token.
All right, what are you doing?
we're gonna take the old dead's magic goblin's cloak.
Okay.
The one with these fancy bones in them.
Yeah.
All right. So you remove the cloak from the goblin.
Yep.
And his skin just turns to ash, and there's just a skeleton lying on the ground.
Whoa. I don't know if that's from like the fire damage though, but that's crazy.
I don't know about that.
So wait,
No.
did I hear the skeleton still there?
Yep.
All the other tissues turn to ash.
That's right. And the bones are old and dry, as though they're hundreds of years old.
Wait, don't
Oh,
put
cool.
this on the other goblin. He might turn into a Hulk goblin because he's young.
Yeah,
That-
yeah, yeah.
Goblin was clearly old.
So
I
and
say we just roll it up and bag it for now and go experiment with it later.
with the ash?
No, with the cloak.
His
Oh,
cloak
yeah,
is
sure.
Clearly preserving
Yeah.
his body.
Fair enough. I'm all over that.
All right, let's do that. So I'll take the dagger. Nutty's got the staff. You got the potion, Saucy? Or Sassy? Is it Saucy or Sassy?
Yeah, no, I'll take the potion, and
The key.
yeah, from what I gather, in quick succession, we've been through some rooms. There's been no knife worth looking for. These are all junky utensils we see around, correct?
Yes.
Good. I collect kitchen utensils as kind of a hobby.
And
Cool.
checking the door outside that we didn't hear anything to and haven't explored yet. Does that have a key slot in it?
Does it have a
Oh
key
yeah, the one
slot in
across
it?
the hall.
Yes.
Like the sturdy door.
yes.
Right? So does the key that we got off the goblin open that door?
Yes.
Okay.
Sweet. Okay.
Clunk.
So, and we still hear cackling echoes occasionally in the corridors.
Occasionally.
Okay.
Okay, we're slowly wearing through them. The frequency of laughter is diminishing.
Yeah. I say we go through the other door now.
I know. He just made a homonym. Frequency meaning both the pitch of their vocal timbre and how often they appear.
There you go.
I didn't even know that.
I learned
That's
something
my
new
Dr.
every
Evil
day.
moment. Sorry about that. Yeah.
Okay. So you're opening the door?
I'm down. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No.
So at this point, we just need to do a light source check. You need to roll it. Your difficulty would be 3, so D6 on your
D6
torch.
for what type of check you cut out?
It's a light source check because your torch. You need to check your torch. We haven't done it a few times, so roll 3 dice for me. 3d6.
Well, we've only got one left. Let Corey roll them all.
Oh,
Okay, I got 2 6s and a 1.
You don't have a torch.
that's not
it's,
good.
It's the other guys
I
have the
know.
torch.
We what?
The other guys have the torch. You don't have the torch. Saucy had the torch.
Okay, you guys, you do the torch roll, Saucy.
Oh, okay.
3d6.
Oh, 664.
Okay, so the torch is still sputtering away in your hand.
Good.
All right, so you push open the door, and the echoing of the cackling. There's a sudden burst of it. But you can
You're
tell that
cutting
it's coming
out.
from ahead. Into the darkness is a narrow corridor ahead of you. But from this point, you see the walls that are being touched by the torchlight. Rather than being individual bricks, it's large stone panels that are being carved with some sort of dwarven iconography.
Can I do like a mental check to see if they have any significance as far as like, do they have any type of like depictions on there or anything?
Yeah, you can do education check difficulty 4.
What difficulty? Sorry,
4.
4. Okay. Education difficulty 4 is D8s. I have 1 rank. So it's always a base dice plus your rank, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Plus
What'd I
your
get?
bonuses.
Oh,
Bonus
cool. I got a 1 and a 3. So yeah, success.
Okay, so don't forget your experience in that.
Mhm.
Yeah, you notice that this is one of the very early dwarven settlements in the region. And this is kind of a history of the founding of their settlement, and the names of the people who constructed this dungeon fortress effectively. Now you would know that there's more to this complex. It kind of gives you a loose map of the level that you're in. You know that there's a bit of a winding passageway ahead and a medium-sized room, and that's it for this level. Now the rest of the levels, the dead end that was at from the four-way intersection actually shows a stairwell
Oh,
down to a
Yeah, we were going
significant.
to take you back there because I was pretty confident we're stupid to find it, right? So we were going to take you back there to look for it.
This leads down
we
to
can
a
figure it out,
significant
yeah.
complex, which you could probably spend a large amount of time exploring.
cool. All right. What
That
do you
means
got
he's
for me?
got a big deck of cards.
Yeah.
It's a big deck of cards.
Are they fun?
But
All right.
I only use the top 15 for doing a small dungeon. But the other 50 something or 40 something cards can be used.
That's crazy. All right. What do you guys want to do? Do we keep going the way we're at, or do we go back up towards that stairwell?
Well, we've all taken a bit of hits, but we're not in too bad shape. But
Oh.
that stairwell's, is that
Yeah.
the one we came in?
Is that the staircase going up, the one we came in?
No,
Is that a different staircase?
no, it's where the dead end is.
Remember that one we hit the
Oh, the
weird
dead end,
dead
right.
end,
Oh,
and
yeah,
then there was
okay.
doors?
Stairwell
Yeah.
there.
The first place you checked. Yeah.
Yeah,
We could-
I knew we missed something.
Really?
But,
Yeah.
but I only knew it in the metagame. My character didn't know.
Yeah.
So good. Now that we've dragged you back down there and we know there's something there, we will now do infinite sense checks or whatever it takes.
So yeah,
We're going to camp
Basically,
here.
We're gonna camp here and do a short rest and sit around until we figure out the Elvish word for friend.
Oh. I forget it.
got it.
Bello. Bello.
Isn't that
And the
what it
whole
says?
dungeon collapses.
Because isn't that Indiana Jones' nemesis in the first movie? Bello?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I think so. Or
Belloc.
I think it was Belloc. Yeah.
Bello.
Deloche. Yes,
There you go.
they call him Deloche. He's
That's
a French.
funny.
He's very smart.
So that's what we did. We went back up to the other place and we're camping out there.
Well, I don't know. We're looking around. Does this staircase make itself evident to us now that we know it must be there? Or at least we've
Well-
convinced ourselves?
Well, I mean, are you leaving this corridor that you're in to go back to that space?
I don't know. I'm kind of up for either way. We could keep going the way we're at, or we could go back.
No, let's keep going where we're going.
Yeah,
Sure.
let's keep going. But we can make note on your guys' map.
We need to be careful though. If wherever we resurface, there might be a couple goblins waiting.
That's true.
Well,
How
because
how
no one
injured are
wants
you
to
guys
sit
right
down
now?
here.
Yeah, if they see us
I
come
think-
out of this place, I think they'll be sufficiently intimidated that they're going to book.
I had a pile of rubble fall on me that hurt about as much as 2 clubs to the chest,
Mm,
and you took a spear and had a couple bits
And
of
so
rubble.
I had a rubble fall on me.
okay. We could do a quick rest real fast and then keep going.
Yeah, but I'm not resting in that bone room. That place was creepy.
That's
Let's just
true.
keep going for now.
Yeah, let's just keep going.
So
Okay.
we're going to go down. Yeah, the one
so the
remaining way
carved
that we have
ornate
not.
corridor
that we
you're
have
in.
not-
The carved
Yeah,
ornate corridor
we're
you're
gonna
in
keep
is
going.
narrow. You can only go single file through it, and the ceiling is quite high. You would estimate
get-
it's 2 or 3 stories above you.
I get behind Nutty.
No, I'm the meat shield.
Yeah.
I'm
gonna
just
hide
seeing this
behind-
happen. I'm like, yeah, I'll stick back a little bit.
Nutty
You
is just
guys-
the orc word for meat shield.
She's female actually, so I nestle on her front, as it were, to protect myself.
It's a bit of an odd elf half orc relationship going on.
Well, it's because it's rolled up for his mother. He's a
Yeah.
surrogate tonight.
That's
Right?
funny.
Although I hate to use the word surrogate given the current way it's being used.
All right, so you,
Okay.
you move further down this corridor, and you come to a stone door.
Come to a what? You
I
He
froze.
broke
A stone door.
Stone door.
a stone door. Dwarven construction, can I tell?
Yes, so it's got the same ornate sort of imagery all over it.
Okay. Nutty, we should push against it. I don't know.
Well, can we walk up and see, is there a keyhole? We have a key.
There's
That's
no keyhole whatsoever, but you can see scrape marks on the ground. So the door opens into the corridor.
Hmm.
Door open
Oh,
into
so-
So we have to
Okay.
pull it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in other words, it's gonna be like going into a building door. It's gonna open towards us.
Yeah. Okay, so
So don't be on the wrong side
are
of it.
there any handles on it, or is it just a flat surface?
There is like an indent with a sort of, you can fit your hands behind to pull.
So there's like a little notch in it.
Yeah,
Okay.
and
Yeah, I mean,
it's a little bit higher than where yours would be, so it's at dwarven height. So it's a little bit lower than the other guys, but it's
it's
a little
not-
bit higher for you.
awkward angle for me, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, and a little short for me.
I can do it. Now,
Sure.
and I try to examine the thing I'm supposed to pull to see if it's booby trapped in any way.
No,
No,
it's just
Okay.
bare stone.
sorry.
It's bare
Bear
stone.
stone. Rah!
Bear stuff.
Oh, got it. Well, I start pulling.
Okay, so physical check difficulty 3.
No, it's a heavy door.
You
I'm
said
gonna help him out. I'm gonna grab Saucy by the belt and just
Okay, so add
heave
a
as
dice
well
to
to
that
give you an
roll.
extra dice.
Do you also want to assist, Nutty?
Yeah. Oh,
Yep.
this
so,
is physical.
yes. So add 2 dice for your colleagues that are assisting you.
Yeah.
I'm going to use the storytell you Vulcan. Yes, we win. There's no way I'm letting 2 assists fail.
The door grinds open, and inside is a mausoleum to one of the founders of the Dwarven. You sort of recognize some of the storytelling on the walls. And there's a sarcophagus in the middle, and the lid is off. And there's a bunch of goblins sort of dancing around with pieces of a skeleton and armor and stuff, doing a pantomime, and they kind of like stop in the middle of what they're doing and turn and stare at the door.
All
You
right.
said they're all in armor.
No, they've basically taken the skeleton out of the sarcophagus and they're playing around with it. They're joking, and that's what all the laughter and the cackling was about.
So the goblins have raided the tomb, and they're being disrespectful with both the bones but where'd all the dwarven armor that would have been in the coffins go?
That's what they're carrying around and like, ha ha ha.
Okay, well, it's time to put a ha-ha hero in their freaking heads.
Arrow, that's
To
funny.
quote Diablo, the sanctity of this place has been fouled.
No, I don't think it's my turn. I think we have to go in.
To what? To quote what?
Diablo,
He broke up. Oh, Diablo. Okay.
the sanctity of this place has been fouled.
There you go.
I never played Diablo.
That's
Hey, you didn't?
one of the first places you enter. Yeah.
Dungeon crawlers, yeah.
Yeah. So
Gotta love them.
yeah, so we just need to. They would go last because they're terrible. So it would then. You guys can choose your order because your initiative is. Oh, hang on. Has someone got a rank in physical? I can't remember.
I
do.
have one.
I have none.
Yeah, physical, you got 2.
No. Ranks, not bonuses.
You're-
Just ranks.
Thought it was you had to earn ranks to experience.
No. You have bonuses, physical bonuses.
Yeah,
2.
no. But you need ranks in physical.
Oh, sorry.
Game through
Yeah.
experience, I thought.
Got it.
So
Okay.
Oslo,
Yeah,
you have
no,
a
no,
rank.
no.
is
So you
that
don't
right?
include bonuses with it?
Physical, no, I
No.
need one more experience point to have a rank in physical.
Oh, there you go.
You just
So-
got one from
That
opening
second
Yeah,
dice
he
is
gets
awesome,
one for the door.
by the
Oh
way.
no, sorry, he had people helping him, so he doesn't. He doesn't earn experience if people are helping him.
That doesn't count. Yeah, no. When you have assists going on, you don't gain experience.
Let's
That's right.
let's just shut the door and you can try again by yourself.
That's like the meta
Well,
power.
it's just awkward. We're like, we'll just close this now.
There's nothing more immersion breaking than opening a door like this.
Yeah, but you don't gain experience because you don't have to roll for the second and third time you do it, so you're just not going to
Yeah,
get any
yeah.
experience anyway.
That's funny.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay. So does that mean I have to go first since I'm
Yes.
first in physical?
That's right.
Okay. So we're all
Your
in the same
initiative
area,
is
so I
2.
could easily run. I could run to these guys, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. I am going to. What should I do?
There are 3 of them.
Oh. Yeah. I don't have any energy levels, so I can't do the fireball spell, which would be really fun. Right? That's how that works. You have to first.
You have an energy rank of 1.
You have a what?
You always start with an energy rank of 1, so you always have 1 energy.
I'm good.
Oh, so I need to fill in one of those squares?
Yeah, if you're going to use
Oh.
magic, you get the 1 energy rank.
Okay. I didn't know that. So did that just happen when I decided to learn this bouncing fireball?
Because now you're actually
Oh.
going to use energy.
Okay. So I fill in the whole square for the first rank in energy.
Yep.
That's awesome. Okay. That's good to know. 'Cause I had a player asking me last week about energy, and I was like, oh, I'm still trying to learn that. So cool. So now, from what I remember about casting a spell, I do the semantics, I speak the words, I cast the spell, and we see first if I hit. But regardless of whether or not I hit, I have to do an energy check to see if I run out.
Correct.
Okay, sure. Yeah, let's do it. I mean, it's a sarcophagus. Maybe it'll bounce around and
Okay.
light some on fire. So
you get to target the first one, and then the second
Okay.
the bounce is random, but you've obviously first got to get it. So the difficulty is the grade. So the grade of the spell is
the difficulty level is going to be
3.
3
Yep. So
because of close range, right?
No. It's just the grade of the spell.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because that's
The
what.
spell
Okay.
auto targets. So you
Okay.
so you roll the number of dice equal to your energy level. So 1d6
1d6 to see if I hit.
to see if you cast it.
Oh, that's right. That's right. If I'm able to actually make
Yep.
this thing happen and work. I got a 4, so no.
No. So now you do an energy check and you roll the number of dice equal to the grade of the spell. So you roll 3 dice and you roll the number equal to your energy level, which is D2s. So you roll.
Oh, okay. So because I have so little energy and I cast a very hard spell, for me, I'm way more likely to lose energy.
Correct.
But in doing so, I'll gain experience.
Correct.
Rest, and then I can try again.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I ran out of energy.
Yeah.
So,
So at the next short rest, you automatically gain your energy back.
okay. So now I get to fill in one little value inside the 2
Correct.
square. Okay, cool.
Correct.
That's awesome. Yeah, okay. So I guess that's my action then.
So in other words, you would want to try to get grade 1 spells because they're going to be D2s. They're much easier to cast. But it doesn't. If you
Yeah.
have a grade 7 spell, you can attempt to cast it, but you're rolling D20s. You're only going to roll 1 at power level, at an energy level of 1. So
Yeah.
it's highly unlikely that you
So-
can cast a spell, but it doesn't mean you can't.
Yeah. So that's cool because then as a magic person, you're trying to create spells that you can use, but that are also going to give you a little bit of experience. So it's always really hard. That's cool. I really like
So
that.
in other words, because you've now learned the bouncing fireball, you can use fireball. You can basically spend a rest developing the fireball spell, which is grade 2, which doesn't bounce. But you can use the bounce effect. So if you had a lightning spell but no bounce, you can use the bounce from that spell to then improve the lightning spell. So you
Okay.
can then make a bouncing lightning bolt or whatever, So
That's
you can
cool.
begin to develop
All right.
and build spells.
And I heard you're coming out with some spell cards and other things to help people understand all the things that they can build. Because
Yep.
I'm checking out the thing that you came out with already about modifying spells and stuff, and you've got all these really cool things on here. But yeah,
Yep.
so looking forward to it. That's awesome.
So as I was actually saying to Greg before we started, I was
Mhm.
working on spells yesterday, and in Fireball and Blindness, there were at least 80 combinations, and I haven't even finished yet. So there's a significant number of
No way.
spells you can develop just from individual little combinations of things, improving the range, improving the damage,
Yeah,
the
that makes
way
sense.
the spell moves, all that kind of stuff comes into it. So
Yeah.
there's
That's
a
cool.
lot that can be
The
done.
thing I'm relating it to is my wife's really into Harry Potter, and there's like the little light that they cast on their wands, but
Yeah.
then they can make it brighter and brighter and brighter and brighter. So
Yeah.
kind of the same idea. That's
Yeah.
cool.
Hmm.
All
So
right,
in other
well,
words,
guys,
because
I was
you-
like mumbo jumbo fireball, wah, and then I was like, "Whew, man, I'm tired. You guys go.
because you also know the extra move for the bounce, you can actually increase the grade by 1 for an extra bounce. So if you went to grade 4, it bounced twice. You went to grade 5, it will bounce 3 times. So the fireball would
Oh,
just
cool.
start bouncing around more randomly. So
Oh,
you
that's
can do
cool.
things like that.
Yeah, that's cool. All right.
Okay.
So,
Anyway,
quick question though:
yeah.
is Greg or is Saucy or Nutty able to try and learn what I just did?
No, because you didn't actually cast the spell.
Oh, okay, so if I was successful, they could try to then
Yeah.
learn it again.
Because they can't learn from your
Okay.
fuck
Yeah.
ups.
That makes sense. And then if I wanted to try to teach them, do I have to, be better at casting it, or?
Yeah, then there's a whole there's
yeah.
a whole thing for teaching people that's different.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. I was going to say, is there a way he can teach to us?
He basically
'cause
has to cast the spell in order for you to try to learn it.
Okay. Well, him cast the spell.
And
Did
he
I have a
failed.
chance? to
Yeah, but I
so
failed
you
at
can't-
it.
yeah.
Yeah, I was just like, and
and
instead of anything cool happening, it just went.
what not to do, what not to do with your fireball.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was his first turn. So moving on to
That makes it saucy.
Saucy.
Okay, so we've got these
very, very rude goblins dancing around on these noble dwarven graves.
How many are there?
3.
How many goblins? 3? Well, arrow in the face time.
Do it. Do it.
And I'm not moving, so I'm shooting.
Shoot shot.
So is it like a headshot then for the damage?
No, headshot would mean to have to take a whole turn to prep it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you would have to aim.
If I remember that.
But it's not a
Oh,
headshot.
that's right.
It's not a headshot weapon.
Yeah. The
Bows
longbow.
aren't headshot weapons?
No.
Not the longbow.
Headshot
No.
weapons or sniper rifles. Where there aren't
Yeah.
any in this fantasy thing.
You reach inside the sarcophagus and pull out this thing. What is this dwarven invention?
I know.
All right, so you're firing at one of the goblins. All right, so there's another. There's an ordinary green skin one. There's one that's got red face paint and another pale one.
Sorry, I've got a red face paint, I've got a normo, and
a pale faced one. Oh, their whole skin is pale.
whole skin's pale, like the albino one we saw before.
Not as albino, but just a much lighter shade of green.
I don't know. Somehow, red face paint looks like a bad mojo guy, so I'm going to try to shoot him in the face.
Okay, so you get base, you get close range, which makes it 3. They are currently unarmed, which makes it, for range it doesn't affect. They are occupied, which makes it 4.
Are they surprised? Are they surprised too?
No, this isn't a surprise round
Oh, okay.
because the door ground open. So it's D8s.
Yeah, that would have alerted them.
D8s.
Yep.
Ooh, that's grim. And that's with the bow. And, just 2 of them. Nope.
And you need to do your ammunition as well. Okay,
Yes,
so
I
that
do.
brings us to Nutty.
Oh, wait a second. I get
Yep.
to shoot twice.
Yep.
Miss both times.
All right.
Now I get to see if I lose ammo twice. Nope. Still got my ammo.
All right.
Okay. Currently, how wide is the door?
2
we're
people
standing
can
in?
stand next to each other. It's big.
Yeah, so if we stand side by side, they can't come in and flank us. Yeah, okay, then I'm gonna remain where we are and just throw the axe I picked up in the weapon room.
Sure.
Try and, if one's close to a wall, I'll try and pin them. But if not, I'll just go for the.
So which
Get
one
along.
are you? Which one are you going to throw the axe at?
Are they all in a pinning location?
So
Or
they're
pinnable
all in
location?
different. They're all in different locations. There's no real surface. We might say that the goblins have erected some kind of board. They've been doing target practice or something with their spears. So there's 3 spears against a wooden board on the wall, and the pale one is near that. So you could actually pin him to that board.
Yeah, I'll try to do that then.
Okay.
So, and then just one attack.
Yeah. So you'd also be D8s.
Weapon proficiency still applies to ranged attempts.
Yes.
Okay.
So
2 rolls.
Yeah. Base
then-
plus your
you
proficiency.
only
I guess-
yeah. So you roll 2 dice. It's for 1 attack because you've only got one axe.
Oh,
Yeah.
proficiency just applies to the difficulty roll or the difficulty rating.
No, how many you get to roll?
How many you get to roll is your proficiency.
Yeah.
So the more, the better you
There's
get.
one. Everybody gets to roll 1.
Yeah, one attack.
And you're proficient with that weapon, so you get to roll another one.
Okay.
That's it.
And
Roll
then,
2.
do I get an advantage because he's unarmored?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
what's
That's
the
why it's on. That's
difficulty?
why it's on 4s. So it's
Just-
D8. He's not wearing an
Of course.
armor, so he won't be able to negate the wounds.
Okay.
So that just comes into play with protection value, right?
Yep.
Gee.
No, that was a failure.
No, failure. 2 3s.
So the
Oh,
axe
bummer.
flies past his head and pegs into the wall, into the board behind him.
No, into a doorway into which was entering a goblin.
No, there's no other doorways,
What's going?
unfortunately.
I just want well from his son.
All right, so that brings us back to Oslo. Oh, sorry, no, we've got all the goblins. So
No,
the
we already
goblins,
did
Yeah,
the.
that's right, Oslo. We don't need to do your turn.
the goblins are yelling out in Goblin, obviously something like "Holy crap!" and they all dash to the board where they pull their spears out, and then
These
turn
sucks
to
so
face
hard.
you guys. So that takes their whole round.
That takes their full turn.
Yep.
Okay. Looking, just like doing a brief glance, you said that they opened up a sarcophagus, right?
Yep.
If we were like, did they like break it open or did they slide the top off?
No, they slit the top off, so the top is lying like down the side of the sarcophagus.
Okay. I'm darting into the room, drawing my dagger, saying, let's lock them inside the sarcophagus. And I'm going to dart over towards the sarcophagus and like I'm going to position myself in a way that if they were to try to throw it at me, I could do a dodge.
Okay, so you would have
or
cover.
attempt to dodge behind.
You'd have cover
Yeah,
between them and you.
Yeah, I'm gonna have like half cover or whatever it is behind the sarcophagus, and I'm just gonna kind of ready myself, so that if they were to attack, I would have. Yeah, I'm gonna try and get the patience or something going for me. So I'm just gonna go over
just
there.
for everyone's reference, the cover between you gives you 2 extra PV points and 2 extra dice. So if your normal PV was 1, you'd now be 3, and you would roll 2 extra dice. So you'd roll 3 dice in total if you needed to use protection.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're not doing any kind of attack, so that moves us to Saucy.
I amend my prior assessment of the Hoblet. He's not what I said before. You have to add in Master Tactician too.
No way.
Listen to that.
I just have ideas. That's all.
Right on. No, I'm a simple cook with a bow. And I missed this guy last time, and I'm a little bit insulted, so I'm going to shoot him this time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right?
So
Now,
you get +2 because of the 2 shots you fired before. That gives suppression, so you're up to 6.
Right.
So it's D4s.
okay, well, that's not so bad.
Right, D4s. I'm going to shoot twice.
Actually, you get a 3rd one because of the axe that flew at him, so that makes it D2s. Oh, no. The axe was at someone else. My apologies. The axe was at someone else.
First one misses. Second one hits.
All right.
And I still have ammo.
So an arrow hits the shoulder of the red-faced goblin. Ah!
Yeah. Take that.
All right, that brings us to Nutty.
Is one of them close to the sarcophagus that my
They're-
companion's standing next?
So
They're all
from
next
your
to it?
perspective, to the left of the sarcophagus is Oslo. To the right and behind are the 3 goblins standing together.
Okay. Then I will.
Oh, shit.
I think I can charge. I read.
Yep.
Yeah, you can do a charge attack.
I'm gonna charge attack the goblin that just got shot with the arrow.
Okay. So
So
this
that I'm
takes
standing next to the sarcophagus for next round.
yeah. So you can the charge is the whole turn, so you can't do anything after you charge other than the attack, because it's a complete action. So it just takes your whole turn is taken up by that. So you'd still be engaged in combat with them for the next turn. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. So it's base, and you have 2 suppression, so that's 3. Injuries don't count. We'll say he was occupied because he's pulling the thing out of the wall, so that's 4. So 4 is d8s. Oh, sorry, and charging, so you get 2 for charging. So that's 6 is d4s.
Okay, so that's, I'm just reading about charge attack. So it's just the +2 to the combat score, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. That's awesome.
Nada.
No. So unfortunately, he's and steps out of the way.
Not even savable.
No.
Not even savable.
Okay, so that brings us to the goblins. So the green one is going to attempt to attack Oslo, and the pale one is going to attack
Bring it on.
Nutty while he's attacking the one with the red face paint. Okay, so we'll start attacking Nutty. So he gets a base score. Nutty attacked, which makes it 3. How many injuries do you have, Nutty?
2.
Which makes it 4. He's got no ally at this point. So it's 4 is d8s. So he fails to hit you with the spear. The red, so that was the red face one. The pale one is the same, except gets an ally, so that makes that d6s. And he also fails to stab you with his spear. So that brings us to the one attacking Oslo.
Bullet sponging.
Yeah.
He is base, and there's no allies or anything like that. How many injuries do you have, Oslo?
I've got 2 as well.
So that makes it 2.
So +1.
It's not smaller than or anything like that. So the other one should have got smaller than. So don't worry, we won't worry about that this turn. So yeah, he's only d12s.
Okay.
Holy crap. You're fine.
And he hits.
Don't get hit.
So do
All
a
right.
PV
So now-
check.
Okay, so I
your
get a base
PV
die
is 3.
plus cover between,
Yep.
and then I don't have any parry or dodge. I'm not a big guy, and I don't feel like spending that last story token quite yet. So yeah, just 3 is my protection value, right?
That's right. At
So so D10, and I get to roll 2 of them because of
3 of them, you get the base plus the 2 for
3
the
of them
cover.
with the base and the 2. Okay, so
Yeah.
3D10, hoping for a 1.
Correct.
Come on! Ah, dang it.
So his
No.
his spear jabs you in the shoulder.
Jerk!
Son of a!
Right. Okay,
Okay.
so I grit my teeth and let out a little grunt.
So that brings us back to your turn.
Oh, it's my turn?
Yep.
Okay. Is there any way that I could try to bait one of these guys to poke at me with their spear from over the sarcophagus? But I could try and grab this, like sidestep and grab the spear and yank them into the sarcophagus and try to get them to trip inside as an attack of sorts, or would I have to wait for them to attack me again?
Yeah, so let me just check here. There's yeah,
'Cause
so
I'm
a
looking at
feint
it and I'm thinking-
attack. So if you look at the special actions
Oh,
and
that's
effect
right.
attacks, a feint attack is a normal attack which causes no injury, but rather allows you to move your opponent up to their reach distance in any direction, facing any direction. So you could do that with the guy who just attacked you.
Okay, yeah, let's do that. And that's just a feint attack?
Yeah, so it's a normal attack, but essentially what you're doing is trying to maneuver them,
Yeah.
but you do no damage.
Well, if I can get him to fall inside there,
Yep.
that would be worth it, I think. So, do I do anything? It's just like a regular attack. I just
Yeah,
but I
just
try
a
and do that.
regular attack.
Okay. So base score, we're the same size. Let's see. He's not in the zone or anything like that. Do I get +2 for patience for avoiding attacks before?
Yeah, you didn't attack, yes?
Not yet.
Oh, no,
This
hang
is
on.
the first time.
It's for each turn you have not
Did I attack
performed an
before?
action prior to this round. So yeah,
Try
you
to
didn't
cast a
really
spell.
before, you just moved.
I did.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I tried to cast a spell first, but then I was like, forget this, and I just moved before.
Yeah, so you didn't
But-
actually do an action, so yes, you would get for patience.
Okay, so I just get a +2 per patience. So
Yeah.
for each round, I didn't.
Correct.
So I get a 2 for that, a 1 for the base, and then they don't have any injuries, do they? The one that's
No.
stabbing at me?
No.
Okay. But he did attack,
Correct.
so that's another 2. So
Correct.
I've only got 5.
That's
okay,
right.
so
D6.
D6s. And is this like a physical check for
No,
for
no,
a
it's a
situation
normal.
pulling him?
It's a normal
normal
weapon swish.
Okay.
It's just you're
Um,
basically you're performing an attack.
Well, I'm just
in the
curious
hope to-
about which.
You're performing
Yeah,
an
okay.
attack in the hope to make them move into a position that's more favorable for you.
Yeah. I'm just not sure if I should just use a base die because I'm not like, oh, well, I guess so. I'm feinting with my dagger to grab them with that.
You're
Okay.
The success of your attack means that you're actually able to move them to wherever you want. If you fail, that means they move in a direction you didn't want them to go,
Okay.
or
So I
they
still
don't
use the
actually
dag-
move. They just remain where they are. Yep.
So I still use the dagger or no?
If you use you use whatever weapon you like.
Okay.
You still
Alright.
need to. You actually
I'll
need
use
to
the dagger.
succeed on the attack. You just don't do any damage.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll do that. I'll use the dagger for the D6s.
So in other words,
Alright,
you're
so
threatening.
2.
You're stabbing to the left to make him move right. Is what you're doing.
Yeah. Okay. So let's do that. No, it's not successful.
Okay, so that brings us to
So
Saucy.
does he still move?
No,
or-
he just remains where he is.
All right.
Okay. Time to smash away. Time to get the old bow out.
Yeah.
Now, help me out here. I can never really figure out with the bows and things. I was sort of getting a feel for it in melee combat. What's my combat score?
So your base
That'll-
score, you then take into account size and position and all those sort of things. So at the moment you have close range, which makes you the score of 3 because it's 1 plus the 2. You're attacking the red-faced one.
Yep.
Okay, so he only has 1 injury, so that doesn't count. But you did fire at him twice before, which gives you 2 suppressions, so that makes it 5, which is d6s.
So D6s?
Yes.
Oh wow, the suppression builds every round.
Yeah.
That's
Well, it falls off, so it's the previous round is the. It's only the previous round.
okay.
I'm going to use a story value token and get 2 hits.
Okay. So both arrows slam into the gut of this little goblin.
And
So that brings us to
still
Nutty.
have ammo.
Sorry, you cut out a bit there. He got hit by 2 arrows. Is he still standing?
He's still standing. It's the injuries only happen at the
I think you
end of
cut
the
out one more.
round.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Effects are gonna be after yours and
Yeah.
all the others.
So
Well-
you the injury effects only happen after you've actually gone.
That makes sense.
Because all
I'm
this
going
is happening at the same time.
Yeah.
Remember that.
to target the closest goblin to the sarcophagus that is open, and the hobbit standing next to you, and try and shove him in there.
Okay,
Come up,
so
and
we'll
then-
do that's a tackle. So we just do a physical check, and the difficulty is
Yep.
1.
And you were
Oh.
charging in before, right?
Difficult. Your
Yeah,
strength.
I was charging in the previous
You
round.
said physical check, right?
yes.
Yes.
You get to roll 3.
Sweet.
Just nod. Yeah. 3, 4, 4.
Oh, you did.
Okay, so yeah, you just ram the little goblin, legs, up in the air, falls into the sarcophagus.
Yeah.
This means that the red-faced one and the pale one are actually behind you now.
Mm.
Okay, because you're facing in a different
Oh, yeah.
direction. All right, so that brings us to the goblins.
Where?
So the first goblin is the one inside the sarcophagus, and he will spend the turn standing up inside the sarcophagus. The second one is the red-faced one, which will charge to attack Saucy. So check his.
You cut out on the first one. What's the first one doing?
He's just spending the round standing up inside the sarcophagus.
Oh, okay.
So, he's the red-faced one is charging. Sorry, the red-faced one has to do an emotion check.
Yeah, because those arrows.
So he currently has 3 injuries. So his difficulty is 3. He gets a single dice because he's absolutely rubbish, and he fails. So he is running towards the door. He's trying to get past. He's kind of and running towards the door.
With 2 arrows sticking out of his head.
This is with two, one in the shoulder and 2 in the gut. And they,
That's not tough.
the other one,
Oh.
the other one will make a choice between Saucy and Nutty.
I almost forgot to write down those 2 shots I landed.
Yeah.
So he decides to charge Nutty. So that means base score rear attack known is 4. How many injuries do you have? 2. Nutty, how many injuries do you have?
2.
Okay, so that makes it 5. And you were occupied with pushing the guy, makes it 6 as D4s. And the spear fails to stab you. It kind of comes through between your arm and your chest as he tries to stab you.
Quick, grab it and catapult him.
All right, so
Put the-
that's all of the goblins. That brings us back to Oslo.
Okay. I'm gonna reach. I might cut myself. How much of the spear is sticking out from between Nutty's arm and chest?
Oh, it comes through and gets pulled straight back out again. It just does a quick stab.
Okay.
And, yeah.
Okay. Well, if that's the case, then I'm going to the one in the sarcophagus. Did he just spend his whole time standing up?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to I guess I'm gonna jump up on. Well, no, I'm just gonna try and make a slash for this goblin inside the sarcophagus in front of me. I'm gonna try and do like a pin and like pin him to the side of the sarcophagus.
You won't
like,
be able to because it's stone.
something. No, that's true. You mean quality value 3 dagger? I mean, no, I'm just kidding. Okay. Then I'm just going to, I'm just gonna slash him with the dagger. Try and slit his throat open pretty good. So I'll just do that. So base score, we're the same size. Is he like facing away from me, or is he still facing towards me as he stands up?
We will say that he's facing his attacker, so he would be facing away from you. So you would have rear attack aware. So
rear attack aware.
Yep.
Okay, so that's 1, 3 for rear attack aware. this is a favorite enemy of mine. I've been
Technically, he's
forgetting
on
about that.
technically he's on the ground still, so you get +3 for that, which makes it 7.
Oh, because he's. Oh, okay, on the ground. Oh, because he is standing up.
Yes.
He hasn't stood up yet.
No, it
Okay.
takes his whole round. To
So,
do
yeah.
that.
Yeah. Okay. So 3 rear attack aware in that. So that's 7. Cool. All right. So 2. Yeah, D2s. And what's my proficiency again for dagger? Okay, cool. So I'm gonna roll this, and I succeeded, but so I successfully injured. But question on this: so
Yep.
for when it comes to weapon proficiencies, do we just keep tallying up their proficiencies, or do we have to be fighting like higher difficulties?
So you only get the experience if you are at the right threshold. So if you've got the first rank, you don't earn on D2s. If you got the second rank, you don't earn on D2s and D4s. It's the same as the skill checks.
So that means that better my combat score, I don't earn as much.
Correct.
Because it's like, all right,
Yeah.
well, this isn't hard.
That's right. It's
So
not
I'm not
hard
really
to stab.
getting
If you're
better.
standing behind a guy and he doesn't know you're there, and you stab him in the back of the
Okay,
head, that doesn't
okay.
take a lot of weapon
This
skill.
makes sense now. This makes sense now.
It's the built-in mechanic that stops the character progression from escalating the way it does in Pathfinder.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. It just, I looked at it and I was like,
Yes.
I feel like I'm getting
Improvement
confused
is
here. But
asymptotic.
that makes totally sense. Yeah.
In economic
makes sense,
terms,
though.
it's
You're
a
not gonna get
diminishing
better.
marginal return.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Good deal. So yeah, I just injured the guy.
All right, cool. So that's the dude in the sarcophagus. Okay, so that brings us to
Give him a little
Saucy.
shank in the ribs or something.
Okay, so is Redface still,
He's panicking and running. He's at the door. He's trying to get out.
but he's still within range?
Yes. If you shoot him now, you kill him.
Okay. Oh yeah, okay.
Coup de grace, right?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Okay, what do I have to, what
So it's a
combat
normal attack.
score
So you,
would
but
this
base
get down to?
score, rear attack aware makes 4, but he's lost his wits, which makes 8. So 7 is D2s.
D2s?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow, that's really easy.
But you will get. Does he get a skill in coup de grace?
Yes. So if you are successful with this
No,
attack,
this will be just putting an arrow in his butt.
yeah, but it counts as a coup de grace towards learning assassinations.
Oh, okay. I don't have any ranks in assassination.
Because that's underneath education, right?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, so you not only do you get your weapon skill if you were earning ranks in that, you also
No, I've
gain,
already maxed out longbow at 2 level.
okay, you also get 1 experience point in education.
Sorry, you lagged out, sir.
So you get 1 experience point in education, and that's because of the coup de
Okay.
grace. You're basically learning how to assassinate people.
Got it.
Yeah, you're
I'm
getting
gonna-
smarter at it, and then pretty soon you won't even have to.
Oh, so
use coup de grace.
assassination is an expertise or a forte somewhere in the education tree.
Yes, you only get 1 of those per battle, so you can only earn 1 of those experience points per battle. But
Hey, take it when you can get it.
that's right.
He's done.
Whoop, whoop. One down.
So that
Nutty's
brings us
out.
to Nutty.
Is the goblin who I placed in the sarcophagus standing or sitting?
He's on his way to standing. So in his turn, he'll be standing. He still counts as on the ground.
Okay. I'm gonna try and put the sarcophagus and pick
Close
it
it.
up and drop it on him.
Do it.
All right. So physical check difficulty 3.
Yeah. You got this. You got this.
Get that. You.
Oh, this is going to be so funny.
Base plus 2 is 3.
Now,
Work.
I'll also
3D.
say that you can use a story value token to reduce the difficulty down 1 if you wanted to.
Oh heck
Yeah.
yeah!
So you can. That's going to change it into 3d4s.
Correct.
Yeah.
Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on.
I I
got-
can use
he-
another story value
He got a
token
2,
to make
and
it
I'll
2 to
donate a
1.
story value token to
I've
turn it
got
into a
one
1.
more.
All right, so the goblin is like,
I'm the data.
so
I'm hosting
Is that
here.
out of the rules?
No.
the
So long
general-
as you don't use the same story value token for the same thing, right? You can
Yeah.
use them for whatever you want.
so long
Sure,
as you're not
okay.
using for the something that's already been done. Yeah, in the
So
same
long as what?
same role.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so that's one goblin sealed inside the sarcophagus. Dum, 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 dum.
Why did we spend a story value token to do that? We would have killed his ass anyways.
Yeah, but now we don't have to worry.
I
about
will
it.
actually give him a story value experience for that. That was quite cool. So he will earn a story value point and get his token back.
There you go.
All right. And now we can cackle at him from outside before we open it. Okay.
Just knock on the top. Shut up. Okay, so that brings us to the final goblin that has to do an emotion check because his leader is pissed off.
Yeah.
The one running. I assume.
Wait a second.
Red
The,
face.
the red face one that we got shot in the butt, that was the leader?
Yep.
We shot the crab.
We shot him. I did shoot him up.
Man.
Like all every time I play, whatever weapon I'm using, I can no longer do D2s with. Because you do it so quickly, right?
Yeah.
In one
Yeah.
combat, you'll whip through it.
So he has one injury, so it's a difficulty of 1 plus 1 because the leader has disappeared, so it's difficulty of 2. And he fails, so he too is scrambling away from you guys towards the door.
Yeah, I'd be scared too. We just entombed his buddy.
We don't speak goblin.
Yeah.
But you know
We speak-
fear when you see it.
We speak one word.
No, I'm sorry. What I'm getting at is, what's the point of sparing him? We've got no use for him. He's just going to get in our way and betray us whenever he gets a chance.
Yeah. Oh, you're talking about the one in the tomb?
And the tied up one.
Well, yeah, we've got one tied up in the hall back there.
I forgot about that guy.
He's still sitting
I think
underneath
he's
the
into
blue
it.
flame going, hopefully they've forgotten
No.
about me.
No, he was sweating in all the wrong places. I think he's into it.
We
Creepy goblins.
we bring him back here and we put him in the tomb too.
Yeah. Cage match.
They can fight it out. All right.
All right.
So,
So the one.
it's
whose turn is
Oslo's
it, by the
turn.
way?
Two goblins.
All right. I'm gonna do a coup de grace on this guy too. I'm gonna chuck my dagger at him.
okay.
All right. So just a regular combat, right? But coup de grace.
Yes. So
right,
he's
so-
running away. Rear attack known losses, which you're at 7 already.
Cool. 7.
7.
He froze.
Yeah, D2's 7.
All right. With my dagger. Yeah, I win. Yay! So
Don't forget
I
the
just get an
education
education one.
experience as well.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm not getting experience anymore for those daggers, but cool. All right. So coup de grace is a forte, and assassination is an expertise.
Yeah, if I remember correctly from the structure, yes.
Cool. All right. Very cool. Because I'm gonna ask you a question about that later when we're done.
Yep.
Afterwards, and
Okay.
you've got some.
So you are now standing in this old mausoleum tomb thing with a whimpering sound coming from within the sarcophagus.
You guys know what I think. I think we need to go get our old buddy and bring him back.
You won't hear me complaining. Go.
All right.
You're in the middle. You take a break. You know,
Let's continue the party. Let's get more goblins over
you
here.
just go get Bondo Gobby and bring him back.
Yeah. I'll go grab him real fast while you guys do
No,
that.
you're the little one.
I'll throw him over my shoulder.
Send the
All right, all right.
So you're heading back down to the ornate door,
And I'm waiting in the sarcophagus room. Is that what we're doing?
I'm going to go with. I don't like to split up the party, and I don't think
That's true.
sarcophagus.
I'll come.
guys
I'll come with you guys. He's not going to go anywhere.
So
I don't. And if he does, so what?
So you're walking back to the ornate door when you see your goblin friend with a gag sort of tiptoeing past the door, and he kind of looks down and sees the torchlight. Obviously, he's broken out of his bonds, and he's like, "Ah!" and just starts pacing down the corridor.
Cool.
He may even just show us the way out right now
Yeah,
if we follow him.
Hey,
that's
a
it.
good idea. And then we could set up camp or something.
Come back and loot the place. I don't care. We'll have all the EL1 loot we can handle.
There you go.
So you're gonna follow him.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Wait, is he? You said he's carrying a torch, or he sees our torch?
He sees your torch,
Okay. Okay.
but he was like tiptoeing past the door, and then noticed your torchlight and was shit. But he's still gagged. He hasn't removed the gag yet.
Yeah. And he moves at 20, and we've got an orc with dark vision that moves at 30.
So
Or
it's
what-
basically to catch him is a contested physical check. So it's difficulty 1 to catch him.
Cool.
Okay. Well,
Physical check?
Yeah.
All right, 3 of them.
I just
Need no numbers.
Yep,
Got it.
we're good.
All right. So yeah, you
Pass.
easily, because he's half your size, you easily catch up to him and just grab him by the scruff.
We tell him
wait.
we got.
We were gonna plan on just basically following him to let him lead us out.
Oh, you just wanted to follow him. Okay. All right. So then you
Yeah.
don't. You're basically running after him. So you're not trying to catch him. Okay. So
Hey,
Yeah,
he
we're
will-
just chasing him.
Sorry. We're pacing him. I meant to illustrate
Yeah.
he's never going to get away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
We're just running
he's still
after
freaked out because you're coming after him. So he's running down the corridor and he's looking over his shoulder, hits the 4-way intersection and drops down the hole.
Oh no.
Ah! Well, you don't hear that because he's gagged, so it's more like, and you hear
Forgetting the
a wet green splat.
Rank and fog goblins are not rocket scientists.
Right.
You might be rocket fuel now.
Oh man,
well,
that's funny. All right. Well,
the one sarcophagus.
So wait a second.
Does
He's
anyone in town speak Goblin?
Are you telling me this guy splattered?
Yeah, he's fallen down the hole. It's
Yeah.
like 200 feet or
It's a
something.
good thing you pulled me up.
Okay.
I think.
did you almost fall in that earlier?
Yeah, that's how we
there's
started.
a reason I have no
That's how he
story
started
value
in the
tokens.
hole.
I understand.
Oh,
You have
okay.
to spend
Okay.
them on the session, otherwise they don't carry forward, right?
You got to kill him early.
So
Town speak Goblin? Do we know?
I don't speak Goblin.
No,
I
it's a
speak
normal-
Common and Halfling.
It was like a normal settlement of mostly humans, a spattering of elves and a few hoblets.
okay,
A comprehend language spell?
we don't have access. Well,
Yeah, we don't have
never-
any spells yet. We only know bouncing fireball. I need
Yeah,
to
no,
figure
no,
out
we-
how to make it work so I can teach you guys. All right, so let's head back to the sarcophagus room. and
Well,
figure
let's search him to see if he's got any kind of hints as to how to get out of the place.
And
Who's
Like,
him?
does he have a key on him?
Who's
out
him?
the sarcophagus guy.
No, I forgot.
the leader and the guy in the sarcophagus. The redhead. The red.
Oh
the
yeah,
red-
the red faced guy. We killed him.
Yeah, but we should loot his corpse and see if he's like got anything
Yes.
significant.
Okay, that's fine. I'm trying to deal with live goblins.
Yeah.
The only live one we've got left is Mr. Lack of Airflow inside the
That's
cophagus, right?
Oh,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Inside
we may want
listen to
to
that.
pop it open
Inside
and
the
start.
cophagus. No,
Yeah, let's
inside
run
the
back there.
sarcophagus.
All right. So,
That's late.
yeah, we should probably crack it open.
Yeah,
Just a
yeah.
hair,
Just a little bit. While you're cracking open the sarcophagus, I'm gonna search the bodies of the two dead ones.
All right.
They got anything on
So
them that's
as you
useful
come in the door,
knowledge?
that's where the red-faced one is. You roll him over and you find on his belt a really large-looking key.
Oh, cool. I hold this up to you guys. I'm like, check it out.
Is that the right size for the main door?
Yes.
I don't know. I
Good.
was back.
Rock and roll.
Go home if we want,
Yeah.
for sure, or possibly.
Okay.
And
All right.
the
Well,
other one,
since you guys are telling me it's important, I'm gonna loop it around my belt, I guess.
And
Yeah.
All
then
right. Cool.
Don't lose it.
the rest of the room.
What's the other one got? Anything
the
useful?
other one has the small key, which is identical to the one that opens the ornate door.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Two-way passage, I think. What do you guys think? How many exits are there in this room besides the one we came
Just the
through?
one you came in.
Oh, okay. Cool. Well, what do we do? How do we
quick
get out of
search
here?
The rest of the room. Is
Yeah,
there
just-
a bunch of like very high quality dwarven armor?
Yes.
Is it,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
So there is dwarven plate armor.
Okay.
There's also
That's got to be trade-inable.
an ornate helmet, and also leggings as well. So it's like it's a full plate suit effectively.
For a dwarf.
It's size 4, so it would suit someone of size 5 or size 3,
Oh, okay. Cool.
but
well,
not size
that
6.
trips me out.
So you're telling me that at size 5, I could get a set of dwarven plate armor?
Yeah, it just
Yeah,
wouldn't fit you
it'd
very
be like-
well.
It'd be like a
Especially when
belly.
I'm a half elf.
It'd be like a belly shirt for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a half elf. We could fit 2 of me in there.
Yeah. You're not a halfling, a half elf. That works.
Did I say halfling? So I meant half elf.
No. I was just kidding.
Oh, yeah,
You're
You
a
meant
small
hoblet.
elf.
We're
We
trying to
could
get
say-
a new one in the lexicon.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Yeah, I'm not a halfling. I'm a hoblet. Well, cool.
Okay.
I say we bag it up, and I'm gonna follow you guys out.
Yeah, if we've searched the room.
Yep.
Okay,
There's no
good.
other gems or anything in the sarcophaguses or anything. Bummer.
Goblins have already
the
removed
goblin.
anything of that kind of value.
Oh man.
It's a bunch of goblins.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool. Yeah, I can't think of any other way to torture that guy inside there. So
So as you exit the
Yeah.
room and the
Well, we-
torchlight fades, you hear a final whimper from within the sarcophagus.
wait, what did we hear? A whimper?
A
I
final
think he's
whimper
trying,
from within the sarcophagus.
Oh,
and I'm
May
going
have suffocated.
I take the very practical approach and say, I'm done. Let's go.
all right. Sounds good.
Right.
Yeah.
My
Cool.
DM soft spot for goblins and goblin variants does not extend to this character.
So you
Yeah.
you slowly make your way back to the four-way intersection. We'll call it a short rest. You're kind of really taking your time. So you can drink water, which automatically will heal you your 1 injury,
Okay.
and you can then eat, which will give you the chance to do a healing check. So everyone
Well, I
automatically.
had water from before.
Yeah.
Did I still hold on to my rations as well?
Yes.
Okay. So I'll eat those and drink that to get the
So
2
you
of
do the
3
healing
down.
check to see if you heal the second one.
Okay.
How does the healing check work?
So
So it's
now,
Constitution. It's a Constitution check, and the difficulty is equal to the number of injuries you have, which currently
So if-
is reduced by 1 because you've already automatically healed 1.
With the
so
water.
you just have to roll a D. Yeah, you have to roll D2.
No.
I made it. Yeah, D2.
So if I had 3, I drank water. I have
Yeah.
2 now, and I do a D4 to see if I heal again.
Yes. So
Okay.
did you have 3 injuries or 2?
I had 3. So I drank
you
water,
automatically heal 1, so you're at 2, so you roll d4s.
and then a D4 to heal 1 more.
Correct.
So I
So-
didn't do it, but I still have 2 injuries.
Was successful.
You passed your
and
con
so
check, right?
I healed 2 in total.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right,
There
so
we
we're at this 4-way intersection now.
Yes. So south is the stairway leading up to where you were all, where the 2 guys entered and where you were dragged in with the head covered with a bag. And
Okay.
to the west is the dead end indicated on the map.
Okay, now is there a chance of getting your gear back?
I already grabbed that when
He's
we were
already
in
got
the
that.
room.
Okay, got it. Sorry.
Yeah. That's
Good.
cool. That was an ogre and a couple goblins ago. We're good.
So on the way out, do we just slide our new key into that hole?
Going up the stairwell, you
Yeah.
slide your key into the socket. It turns,
You cut
and
out.
the stonework grinds back, revealing dusk. You know, the orange glow of dusk in the sky as you emerge from this horrible goblin-infested dungeon. And that is, as they say, it.
Yeah.
Cool. We made it out.